It's amazing. It's amazing. The Michael Decon program. Is the embassy.
Personally, I'm Jewish, I'm a trans woman, and I'm queer, and those are related.
Now, get ready for the world's #1 late-night radio show and podcast.
And welcome back. Thanks for pressing play. My name, in fact, is Michael Decon, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all. And of course, I'm not alone here with you. There is a guest here tonight, or evening, or morning, wherever the hell you are on this island Earth. In a moment, I'll be joined by the man of the hour, Mr. Victor Hugo Vaca Jr. Yes, just like old times, he has returned, and of course his job is not to be politically correct, and we appreciate that tremendously. For those who don't understand or enjoy that sort of thing, please show yourself the door. He is the founder of the modern art music movement and pioneer of modern art gonzo journalism. He is an award-winning filmmaker and screenwriter who directed the award-winning film Crackhead Jesus, the movie. He's a whistleblower and veteran, now living near the border of Russia. Mother Russia! Now, without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Victor. Yes, Victor Hugo Vaca Jr. Let's bring him on in. I know he's patiently waiting. Victor, are you alive, or have you died?
No, I'm alive and kicking. I'm
There he
not
is.
an AI image or a clone.
You're the real deal.
I'm the Maverick artist, brother.
There he is. Well, look who's back in the hot seat. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Mr. Victor Hugo Vaca Jr., and I hope you're ready for another wild ride through it all, Victor, with me here.
Yeah, it's always a trip being on your show, Michael Decon.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being here, Victor. It's quite the pleasure to have you here on the program. And Victor, I feel like I need to begin by apologizing to you.
Well, I don't know what you're going to apologize for, but I will say apologizing is not a weakness and neither is forgiveness. If more of us learned how to accept the fact that we've been lied to for pretty much all our lives, we could then move on. But people are afraid to say, you know what, you're right, it's impossible. 2 airplanes could not possibly take down 3. I recently found out it was more like 9 buildings with 2 airplanes on September 11, 2001. We haven't even moved past that yet. And I'm sorry, I didn't find out until 2 weeks ago that it was more than just 3 buildings. They keep building 7 as a ruse. So anyway, all I'm saying is, whatever it is, I forgive you, man.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I must say, I was initially a bit skeptical about some aspects of your story. However, I come to realize that I was being fed quite a bit of bullshit by random people, Victor. Some
Oh,
folks,
that,
telling me not, some folks telling me not to talk to you, and
don't talk to me.
or why am I
Don't
talking
talk
to
to
you?
me. Why are you talking to me?
Yes.
Why are you talking to me, Mike?
Well, you remind me of someone.
Who? Your
Someone,
uncle?
someone,
Fester?
no, someone like myself, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
I
Yeah,
also,
if I was
yeah,
there with you in California, we'd be on the beach, we'd be surfing, we'd be smoking some bongs, we'd be dancing, we'd be doing some modern art music movement stuff with our rock and roll and Hollywood friends. Holy cow, we would have a party. I
we,
look forward to that happening one day.
well, I mean, if you ever make it out here to California, I can guarantee you that that will definitely be happening. And I must say, I also wasn't sure why you had been going on the attack with a few people. And well, we'll get into all that in a bit, but I realized and remembered I've been guilty of the same thing, Victor. I've gone after numerous people. I defeated some rather well known and now forgotten people in various circles. I'm guilty of causing numerous mental breakdowns against plenty of people. So thanks for making me remember that. And sometimes in life, you're going to have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, Victor.
Well, I think you and I were talking about that before you hit record. When I came into this arena, I thought I was stepping into the boxing ring where somebody was going to get hurt or get knocked out. But you don't step out of a boxing ring without at least getting a bruise if you're doing it for real. So I thought I was surrounded by, I thought they were icons because honestly, I didn't know most of these people. Stu Peters, I'd never heard of Jim Fetzer or Mike Adams or like any of these. SGT report, never heard of it. X22 report, never heard of it. But then with the COVID thing, I'm not allowed to say that. With the, are we allowed to say Wuhan virus? Oh,
Joking,
right.
of course. You could say that.
With
You could
the-
say that.
Yeah, with the Oogie Boogie thing that
Yes.
happened. I was like, nobody's really talking about the Oogie Boogie.
That China Air, yes.
I was like, yeah. So then I was like, oh, these people are talking about the Oogie Boogie. But then I realized they were only giving you about 80% of the Oogie Boogie.
Right.
You know, the 20% of the Oogie Boogie that you really, really need to like Boogie Woogie instead of Oogie Boogie. That's not what they were giving us, and they're still not giving it to us because the Oogie Boogie of the Epstein Island thing is that it was all just a conspiracy theory. Forget about it. You're still talking about that? I can't believe you're even still talking about that. It's like, what?
Yeah, it never happened.
Where are all the magatards? Where's X22 report? Where's SGT report? Why aren't they calling this fucking where's the beeper? You're not supposed to say fucking on YouTube.
I think you could say fuck.
What the fuck is up with Donald Trump? And his
Right.
promises. I thought the war in the Ukraine was supposed to be over like in an hour.
That's what I
He was gonna
heard.
Make a phone call, and bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, we go from Oogie Boogie to Boogie Woogie, and the world is back to where it's got to be. Instead, now black people are saying they're going to start eating white people tomorrow, the day after Halloween, when they sacrificed children and tortured kids using the CIA and the U.S. military that transfers these children.
Wait a minute.
And straight through the borders. Listen, you got me started.
Wait a minute. Did you say black people?
Black people say that they're going to start eating white people.
Really?
With their food stamps. Yeah. So I told
Where'd you hear that?
Black people are
Black
saying
people are saying that
on TikTok and Twitter. Yeah, black people are saying,
wow.
Listen, you take away my food, we're going to eat you white people.
I'm going to get a white man.
It's like, yeah, the white meat. It's always more expensive. If you go to Kirch's Chicken or whatever, you order white meat, it's more expensive.
Where the white women at, Victor?
They're with Charlie Kirk's wife.
Oh, with Charlie Kirk's wife, right. Absolutely.
Oy,
Did you see that, by the way? Did you see her walking out, strutting her stuff, I should say?
I try not to watch that stuff, dude. I got a life to live.
She came out wearing black leather pants, though, Victor.
Yeah, it's all a show.
Around.
Getting back to what we were saying. Yeah, I thought I was going into a boxing ring. Turns out the world is WWE. It's the world, or WWF, World Wrestling Federation. Quite literally, the president of the United States Corporation is a Hall of Famer in the World Wrestling Federation.
That's true. Linda McMahon, right.
Yeah, and Donald Trump too.
You're right. He was in there.
Hall of Fame. And that's what's happening right now. We're all watching, like the Mossad said, a movie.
A movie.
So like I said, yeah, it's all a script. The Jews control Hollywood. They control the television stations. Now they control TikTok.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's...
Oh, I mean...
Don't fucking say that.
God's chosen
I love
people.
them, Victor, you son of
God's
a bitch.
favorites.
Don't say that
I
to me.
do too. God loves them.
I'll find you, Victor. And I'll shove a menorah up your ass.
Hey, listen, hold on a second. Now you're being anti-Semitic.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're loud.
Yeah. Didn't you know that I am a quadruple double CIA Mossad agent?
That's what I heard about
you. Been?
That's what I hear.
The people who are the best researchers, the most qualified, like SGT reports Hope Girl, aka Naima Fagan, because supposedly inside sources said that Naima Fagan is a child molester hiding out.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to hit rewind. We got to set this up a little bit better. And I apologize. By the way, I apologize to your listeners who despise me, those who lack a sense of humor, and
really?
Those who haven't been late since Obama was in office.
Who hates you?
Thoughts and prayers to you. I love you still. But by the way, if anybody heard any external noises, just really quickly, it's probably coming from my neighbor. You know, they're loud, they're unruly, constantly playing music or using power tools.
Are they God's chosen people?
They're not, but
are they God's chosen?
They're not. But check this out. I'm tempted to call ICE on them.
Nice.
I'm gonna call ICE. Anyways, okay.
Back to the
story. So relax, anyone who takes offense to that. I'm a mixed race, and personally, I'm Jewish and trans, and I'm a queer, and those are related.
I'm a fat black Jewish lesbian taco trapped in a man's body with Asperger's.
You look pretty black to me.
And Soros Holocaust survivor who dated Anne Frank. So I am actually the youngest of the Holocaust survivors.
It's pretty good. You look good for your age.
Oy vey, thank you.
You look very.
I'm 86. I'm 86 years old. A lot of people don't know, but Jim Fetzer outed me. He says I am 6 months older than him, and the reason I look so pretty is because of all the facelifts and Botox that I've gotten. Thank you, James, for breaking that news.
That's all the young Jewish boys, their blood. You know, that's their blood of the Jew has kind of rejuvenated you, Victor. That's kind of what it is. So I heard.
It's the Jews. Yeah, it's the Jews. They're the best.
Okay, so they're Victor, let me
kookiest on earth. When God was like doing the boogie woogie,
right,
instead of the oogie woogie that we've been fed for all these years, he was like, you know what? These Jews are all right, man.
They're all right.
Just all right.
Okay.
Jesus is just all right, but the Jews, they're God's chosen people.
That's what I heard.
They trump Jesus. Yeah.
So, Victor, it seemed like you've got a revolving door of sparring partners. You know, whenever I check in with you, it's always someone new in the ring. And I don't mean that in a negative way, by the way. I frankly find that funny and entertaining, but to each their own. And by the way, are you a Christian, Victor?
Yeah. And it's funny, I keep having these satanic Christians ask me that. Either they're satanic Christians or they're fucking retards. Because I've said it so many different times. I was born and raised Roman Catholic, which means that the moment I popped out of my mom's vagina, they put me in front of some priest and he started like pouring holy water over my head. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And then later they gave me Holy Communion, which is where supposedly I was eating God. So I was like in second grade when that happened. I was probably like, I don't know, 8 years old. So I went from getting water poured on my head to eating God. And then I was like,
eating Jesus.
Yeah, I ate Jesus. So then I went to Catholic school for 8 years. I had nuns and priests everywhere. It was amazing. I was never diddled, by the way, because I never met a rabbi. Oy vey. So yeah, I had priests and nuns teaching me from my 1st through 8th grade. And they
never touched you.
They never touched me. No.
Do you feel offended that they didn't touch you?
Yeah, I feel offended that they didn't. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? What's wrong with this? That's why I got like facelifts and Botox.
Right. It hurt your self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, man. So anyway.
I look to be molested at times, Victor.
Actually, there was one cool priest who rode a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And everybody all the young girls wanted to bang him, and the nuns did too. So, yeah, there was that. But all the other ones were like old. I'm just glad they weren't pervy. That's all.
That's a good
anyway,
thing. Anyways, what I'm
so
getting at is I'm not a Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
I'm
a
not, though,
Christian.
Victor. I'm going to be honest with you. And you can use that against me whenever you get angry. And
That's okay.
if you turn
As long
on
as
me,
you're not
you
a
could.
satanic Christian.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you do turn on me, you could say I'm not a Christian, that I'm a
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
homosexual,
A douche.
that a
Yeah, yeah,
douchebag, I'm black,
Yeah.
I'm Asian.
Are we allowed to say that you're a cunt?
Yeah,
on
you could say that.
YouTube or not?
Yeah, you could say
Okay.
cunt.
So what are we not allowed to say on YouTube?
I think there's certain things you can't say.
Really?
Just a
You
few
want to
things.
say them like Carlin's 7 dirty words?
No, you could. Well, I mean, you could say those words. That's fine. But
You can't say the words that you can't say.
right, like the
Wow.
people in that place.
Gotcha.
So
Like the people that wear hats like this.
correct. They get mad at that.
Nice.
So you can't do that.
Yes. Oy vey.
It's against the
Oy vey,
law.
Yes.
But Victor, here's the
Uh-huh.
thing. I gotta say, not a Christian, nor am I an atheist. I believe there's something out there that is referred to as a God. I just don't really understand the and help me with this. Help me understand this. I just don't really understand the Christian conspiracy people who use Christianity as some sort of weapon. I believe it's kind of like virtual signaling to deceive the gullible, which is one of the various ways that our sitting president, Donald J. Trump, has sort of utilized to become president and fill his and his family's pockets. I'm not a part of that, and I want to be clear on that. Christ is within me. Not, he's not really in me in a sexual way. I just like to believe that to be true. But Victor, help me understand that. What is going on in the conspiracy realm? Why are there so many people that use Christianity as some sort of weapon? I want you to explain that to me. Help me understand, because I'm slow, and I'm homosexual, and I'm satanic and retarded and trans and black. So I'm slow.
Wow. Well, you're a lot like me. When you described what you just said, that's what I thought. When I say I'm a Christian, I'm basically what you just said. I'm not a Christian like Dustin Nemos, who knows how to spout the Bible and quote this and quote that and this and that, the other thing. I'm just a guy who goes by the golden rule. Doesn't matter if God is a cat, black, or a woman with a huge clit. If they preach love one another,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? That's down with the boogie
Okay.
woogie, not the oogie woogie. And the thing is, too many people are cool with the missing of the letters, because you put
Yeah.
the B in front of oogie and now you got boogie. You put the W in front of oogie and now you got woogie. So right now people are like caught in a trap, like you said. They're these self-righteous, pious cunts who call themselves Christians, but they're actually satanic Christians. And they're worshiping crackhead Jesus like Dustin Nemos and Sean Turnbull of SGT Report and Hope Girl, aka Naima Fagan, and all these other, like, I'll call them jackasses, who claim to be truth tellers, but are just lying. Listen, nobody's perfect. But if you're going to be feeding people sweets and telling them lies, get the fuck out of the way. This is the apocalypse.
Right.
We're in the age of deception, and the light is shining on the darkness. And whether you're Stu Peters or Mike Adams, if you're claiming that you're for free speech and you're actually like censoring, then what kind of shit is that, dude? This isn't WWF. I'm not in a wrestling ring.
Right.
I came here to box. And that's what I like about you, Michael Decon. It's like, yeah, you're not wrestling with me. We're having fun. We're boxing. Boxing is fun.
It
If
is.
you've ever boxed in your life, it's a nice competition, because you can't run out of the ring. If you run out of the ring, you're a pussy. But it turns out what I'm in with this truth teller community and the so-called alt news media, it's a bunch of fucking liars.
There's a
Never
lot of
mind the fact that
snakes.
they're
Let's be honest. A lot of
backstabbers
deceiving
and stuff.
folks there.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. And what happens is they send me emails begging me to freaking not, expose whatever stupidity they got going on. And then they make up bullshit and they give me no choice than to freaking come out with the truth. Man.
And I've noticed that, by the way, Victor. To your credit, I've received various emails from different people that do shows telling me that they don't want me to do this, they don't want me to do that, don't talk about this. And I
Don't talk about that.
I realize, though, by the way, that these people all have to sort of scratch each other's backs and get along.
Yeah, not you and me, man. Fuck that
Right.
shit, dude.
I'm
If
not a
I do
part of
no
that.
more
You know.
shows after this, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? If this is the last show I ever do, I'll drop the mic and be like, you know what, people, it was real. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Decon, for hosting me in your ring. That's what you do when you finish boxing, dude. You know,
You're not
you
lying.
you touch gloves and you're like, okay, cool, man. I'll see you next time. Because
You're
the
not
people
wrong.
are fighting. The people are fighting dirty right now. The people
They
in
are.
the
They run.
Truth Teller,
They run
and-
and they call people. They email people saying, "Oh, I don't want you to have this guy on your show. Please don't."
It's fucking childish.
It's pretty
funny,
pussy.
I get comments from people. They think I'm doing this, right? And they're like, I subscribe to your channel because it's fun to see what teenage girls are up to. And they're absolutely right. I 100% agree with them. This is all bullshit, dude.
I agree.
But like I said, these people are not willing to say, hey, listen, sorry, you're right. I censored you. Like Mike Adams. He keeps censoring me.
Hold on.
And he's telling
Hold on.
people,
We got to back up here. Again,
Yeah.
I just want you to set the record straight, and we're going to discuss him in a moment. But you have to clarify a few names who I assume you've got beef with. And let's rewind a little bit here. Let's get some context to the ladies and gentlemen out there.
by the way,
Mhm.
It's not a beef. Beef is like high school shit.
Right.
This isn't high school, dude. We're in the age of deception. We're like in the last days. I don't have time. I trusted these people. These people were icons to me.
I
Because I didn't know
understand
who the
that.
hell these people were.
It was a play
And
on
then they
words,
bring
not
me on
exactly
their
real beef.
they bring me on
Yeah.
their shows, and I'm like honored. I'm like, wow, cool, man. All right, we're gonna talk some truth. Like I said, let's say you're an amateur boxer, right? And they invite you to spar with Mike Tyson.
Right.
You're not in the big ring.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're not in Vegas. But wow, man, you're sparring with Mike Tyson. Yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked, but you have that under your belt. Like
Right.
nobody will take that away from you. So when I go on SGT report, and the first thing that happens is he tells me, "Oh, don't say this about Elon Musk because we need heroes."
Right.
I'm
Well,
like, what
hold
kind of
back.
bullshit is this?
Give me a little
man?
context
what the
here.
Fuck, man.
Let's start. Yeah, let's start again. Let's start with
What are
Sean from SGT
what are the
Report.
rules? Yeah,
Well,
what are
there
the rules? I got to know the rules. I got one of these hats on now. I wear these hats all the time. This way, if anybody says anything, I just say anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic.
It's a good weapon. It's a good weapon to
Anti-Semitic
use.
is like a cross to a vampire over here now. So I
Right.
just wear these. I recommend everybody does. You can make them out of diapers even.
I agree. So again, the first name on my list that I can recall off the top of my head is Sean from the SGT Report. Now, Sean from the SGT Report, remind me, what's the history there? What prompted the disagreements initially for you? And again, I've never heard of his show once. I've seen the name pop up numerous times, but I'm outside of that show's target audience. But carry on, Victor. What happened? What prompted this?
Yeah, their target audience, he targets Christians like Dustin Emos, which is interesting because it turns out all these people are connected. And we were noticing that it's like a circuit. If you're good, you behave yourself, you can get on the talk show circuit.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? I'm not here to behave myself. I'm here to wake people up.
Love that.
And so that's why I said my job is not to be politically correct. It is to
Right.
witness, observe, analyze, and document the beautiful chaos that surrounds us all. So the future generations can understand how we got to this moment in time where I got to wear this little thing to be able to say what I'm saying right now.
It's a nice hat.
I mean, it's goddamn ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's goddamn ridiculous. And then I go on shows like Jim Fetzer and this twerp Brian Davidson, who's crying Brian Davidson. And yes, I'm calling them nicknames because this is fun now. They've turned the Truth Teller community into a joke. So now all I can do is joke about it. They've done it themselves. I play clips of them saying stupid things, acting as if it's all like real. They're
Right.
acting like they're CNN and shit, just
I know,
standing there
it's-
with a straight face. This is Jim Fetzer. I'm here to tell you that Victor Hugo, sources from Sandy Hook Promise tell us that he is the angel of death, the character assassin, a quadruple CIA double Mossad agent who's 6 years older or 6 months older than I, excuse me. But the reason he looks so good is because he's had facelifts and Botox, and he lives with his father in Miami, Florida. Sometimes he lives with his mother in Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, he's a closeted homosexual and anything else. It's like, really? That's the evening news? They're trying to kill us. I've got 2 minutes to say something before a commercial break. So I sum it all up after I'm listening to them talk shit for like 25 minutes. And they say, Victor, what do you think? And I say, well, after analyzing it,
Yeah.
follow the money. And I realize,
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
and they're like, oh, ooh, oy vey, you can't say that. And I'm like, say what? I didn't say anything. I was just like, and they're like, that's it. I'm off the show. I work in the courts because I'm a private investigator. And there's judges who are, and I work with lawyers and they are. And so if they keep hearing you say that it's then my 14-year-old stepdaughter who reads the comments is going to get upset at me, and I don't want that.
You don't?
Because, no. So James Fetzer totally changes that disgusting display of like non-testicular malehood,
Right.
these modern fucking like tough guys without balls. He says, that's it. I want off the show. I can't be on the show anymore. And I'm like, all right, I'll get off the show because I don't need to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be surrounded by you dimwits. I thought we were in a boxing ring. You guys are fucking wrestling.
And Brian Davidson is the guy. Sorry to interrupt you, but Brian Davidson is the gentleman who freaked out, and his daughter was watching the show. Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the guy.
So
okay.
so that's what I'm saying. Imagine you get into a boxing ring, and you're boxing with somebody. And then all of a sudden, the dude's 14-year-old daughter is like on the side of the ring going, Daddy, please. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to keep kicking the father's ass because I'm in the ring. I'm not at like play school.
Right.
Like, leave your kids at home if they can't handle seeing their dad get their fucking ass kicked. Get out of the ring. So I gave Brian Davidson a fucking pummeling because he said that Israel was on the map and that every country acknowledges the existence of Israel, which is a Rothschild state through the Balfour Declaration. It's totally, it's not what he said. He said it was on the map for like since Jesus was alive and even before then. I'm like, dude, I don't know what maps you're looking at. I said, and he tried arguing with me. That's what I'm saying. Like this truth teller community, I get on there with facts and they come at me with bullshit. I'm like, no, dude, that's the wrestling ring is over there. This is the boxing ring. You punch me, I punch you. You punch me, I punch you. One of us is going down. The liar's going down. And that's why when people are like, oh, you need to stop, you need to just let it go. If you're in a boxing match for like 15 rounds, somebody, I don't care how hot she is, she's like, look at these. You want these? You got to stop right now. I'm like, no, baby, this is 15 rounds. I'll see you in 3 rounds. I got some more, fighting to do.
By the way, I never imagined you fondling your breast in front of me like that, Victor. I mean,
yeah, well,
that was outrageous.
Suck it up and enjoy it.
Well, for the listeners at home that are listening to the audio version, you got to watch the video with Victor showing the heavy hangers and he's lifting them up and down. It was pretty outrageous. But continue, Victor.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna bring the audience and you into a game as I.
Oh, you got a game for us? Okay, I love that.
Yeah. What you're gonna do is apparently I found out through experience now, okay? Because I'm in this ring, so it's like round 12. We're almost at round 15 because people are starting to notice the bullshitters. The bullshit has gotten so unbearable that everybody's like, "Ooh, somebody farted," So somebody's gonna have to fess up, So anyway. It turns out you can say just about anything, as ridiculous as it may sound. So this is the game we're playing in the chat section. And Michael, you as well, please. Say anything you want about anybody, any public figure. As long as you say, inside sources said that, or you can say, on information and belief, ... Or you could say, and write this down, people, because this is the game, and leave it in the chats because we want to know. Sources have corroborated my suspicions. So, for example, I could say, sources have corroborated my suspicions that Sean Turnbull of SGT Report was humping a camel on Epstein's Lolita Island while Susan Bradford was sucking off a chihuahua and giving James Fetzer a hand job.
Allegedly.
Well, no, sources have corroborated.
Oh, okay. Sources. Okay.
My suspicions. You don't even have to say allegedly anymore. That's what's beautiful. You used to have to say allegedly. Now it's like I said, we're in the wrestling ring, man. This isn't the Truth Teller arena. If you tune into SGT Report, X22 Report, Stu Peters Network, which I'm totally surprised. I have Stu Peters' personal email, and I've been sending him the nonsense that Zachary Winkle, his producer for the Christopher the Cuck Tea Show.
Zachary Winkle.
Zachary Winkle.
That sounds that name sounds very kosher, by the way.
Yeah. You need to find out what's going on with Zachary Winkle over there because he's turned your channel into Comedy Central. So, yeah, this is the kind of shit that's going on. So anyway, again, and you can also say sources have corroborated my suspicions that while Susan Bradford was sucking off the chihuahua and giving James Fetzer a hand job.
That's illegal.
Not on Epstein's Island. Apparently.
Oh, that's legal there, I heard.
On information and belief. That's what I heard. Inside sources. Yeah. Inside sources told me this. So it's gotta be
that
true.
Must be right, yeah.
Because I'm in the Truth Teller arena. You see how it works? I'm not in the wrestling ring with like satire, which is what I do, which is why it drives me crazy. Because James Fetzer tried to shut Rumble and BitChute down with a $60 million lawsuit claiming that the videos that I upload of this satire. I'm a satirist. I'm taking the piss out of the Truth Teller community because it's become a cesspool of lies. So there was a case, a Supreme Court case, Larry Flint of Hustler Magazine versus Swaggart. I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
But because of that Supreme Court victory, I'm able to do what I'm doing. And James Fetzer thinks that by suing Rumble and BitChute for $60 million, which would shut them down, because BitChute doesn't have that kind of money, and it's really the last place for free speech that I know. And he wants to shut it down because he claims that what you're listening to right now is political pornography and elder abuse, as if somehow this, he claims, will give him a heart attack.
Well, this is audio pornography, for the record.
Whatever it is, it's legal.
But it's legal, yes. It's kosher.
Yeah, it's kosher, absolutely. Yes, this has been ratified.
By the way, I didn't think he was being serious when he did claim that he was going to sue BitChute and Rumble. I thought that was kind of strange since he uses their platform almost daily.
Yeah, that's the other
thing. It's a little strange.
I'm dealing with a bunch of backstabbers. I'm dealing with a bunch of hypocrites. And I'm dealing with a bunch of liars. So yeah, I'm swimming with the sharks. And you're damn right. I'm in the boxing ring with these so-called titans like Stu Peters and Mike Adams. All these people are connected to Alex Jones, by the way.
And by the way, for the record, you know, I don't hate Jim. I don't dislike Jim. You know, I've gotten along with Jim.
I don't hate these guys either.
I know. All I'm saying
liars.
is, I
feel sorry for them.
And we've clashed before, me and Jim, on a number of things. But again, that's really confusing to me that he would actually go out and try to sue these platforms. I find that, again, I'm perplexed by the whole ordeal, and I still am. Like, why would he do that?
So perplexed.
Why would he do that? That's all I'm saying. It's weird as hell.
You tell me.
I'm at a loss of words still, Victor. I just don't know what's motivating him to do this. I've told him I don't think this is a good idea, but you know, what can you do?
All right, now take that and multiply it. Yeah, it does. And take that now, multiply it by why Stu Peters is asking about this, because Stu Peters is also on the Rumble and BitChute channel, and Stu Peters knows that James Fetzer is up to this. So why isn't this news? Why are we talking about blacks eating white people when the United States is sending billions of dollars over to Argentina? How about feeding the blacks so that they don't eat the whites instead of feeding the Argentinians? Nothing against Argentinians. I've been there. It's a beautiful place. Mendoza is absolutely amazing. If you ever get a chance, put that on your bucket list.
Gotcha.
The wine and the meat is like
delicious.
Unbelievable. And the canopy that runs through that city, a natural canopy of trees, is absolutely gorgeous. Mendoza is great. But you know what? The United States is having a famine in 24 hours where crackers, if they're not fast enough, are going to get eaten by blackies. So how about asking the Argentinians to give us back the 20 billion and let's feed these blackies? And if you're upset because I'm saying blackies, then you're upset at the wrong thing. And the thing is, these blackies, if you're so sensitive that you get upset by my saying blackies, they're going to eat you. People are so woke right now. That's the other thing. I didn't realize that this truth teller arena, everybody's feelings are hurt.
Oh, very
I know we were
easily.
talking about Sean from SGT Report, but it's like I talked to Sean about the situation with General Michael Flynn, and he's like, "Oh no, you can't go there." Meanwhile, I had guests on my show that were whistleblowers that told me that Michael Flynn is involved in human trafficking, child trafficking, and money laundering, amongst other things. And like you, I have to judge the character of my guests. Some of them turn out to be absolutely crazy.
And you give them the benefit of the doubt, as I do. You give them a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these people were legit with their stories. And Sean said, and I've got the video of him saying it, that him and Hope Girl, Naima Fagan, the one who sources have, again, we can say anything now.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Inside sources say that Naima Fagan, Hope Girl, while Susan Bradford was sucking off the Chihuahua while giving James Fetzer a hand job.
Oh my God.
Naima Fagan, aka Hope Girl, who's the researcher for Sean Turnbull of SGT Report, who, remember, he was also on Epstein Island, according to the sources. Let me see which sources here. Sources, have corroborated that Sean from SGT Report was actually on Epstein Island while Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and all the others like Mark Zuckerberg were eating babies and having sex with children and stuff like that. They were appalled because they look over and they're like, there's bestiality going on Pedo Island. Like, who? You guys are on the wrong island, And James Fetzer was like, no, that's okay. I'm James Fetzer. I could do whatever I want, So they were like, oh, okay, it's James Fetzer. So Naima Fagan, Hope Girl, SGT Report's researcher, was shoving a raw steak inside of James Fetzer's anus. Because it turns out that James Fetzer, according to sources that have corroborated this story, inside sources, and also on information and belief, what happened is that James Fetzer has this fetish of getting sodomized by Rottweilers. So what happened was, while Hope Girl was shoving the raw steak in James Fetzer's anus and he was getting a hand job from Susan Bradford, who was sucking off the Chihuahua while Sean Turnbull was humping the camel on Epstein Island, they ate out the steak from his anus, James Fetzer's, because he liked that. And then they brought in the pit bulls, and the pit bulls started sodomizing him. Anyway, at that point, Epstein came out and said, you know what? I've seen too much.
This has gone too far.
This is disgusting. This has gone too far.
This has gone too far, yes.
People put down the babies that they were eating. They stopped schlupping the kids.
Okay.
And they all turned over to Sean and were like, Sean, what are you doing?
It's quite the festival.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's going on here? So that's what I'm doing. I'm shining light on the fact that these people, according to inside sources, are a bunch of weirdos. And if not involved in zoophilia and bestiality, at the very least, they're guilty of lying to their audience. And that I have receipts for. The other stuff, I don't know. I wasn't on Epstein Island.
You just heard.
I'm not. I got
There's
it from
whispers.
sources.
Okay. sources.
Sandy Hook sources, the same sources that Sean Turnbull of SGT Report uses, the same sources that the Stu Peters Network cites, the same sources that Susan Bradford is constantly citing about how I am like, apparently, dude, I'm working with FBI Kash Patel, according to these sources.
With those eyes?
So these sources, yeah.
That's a frightening character.
Can you imagine me with Kash Patel? You think I'd be able to stay quiet? Dude, I was at the Naval Academy when I had goofy freaking fag people trying to yell at me and tell me what to do. I used to roll my eyes. I was in trouble, So yeah, if I was working under Kash Patel, I'd have to deny. I'd have to say no. I can't take this job. You're too fucking funny looking.
Well, I don't blame you, but again, if I recall correctly, you mentioned Sean doesn't show his face.
Yeah, what is this bullshit of these Christians? Again, I'm a Christian like you, in the sense that I just exactly what you said, and that's why these Christians, they want me to be like a Dustin Nemos kind of a Christian, which is it's a cult. People, he's the modern Jim Jones, Jonestown. Look it up.
If I recall correctly, though, however, you also referenced the Bible when you insinuated that he's a satanic Christian and he's a coward. You said.
Sean from SGT Report. Yeah, absolutely. Because the Bible says God hates cowards. And it also says put on the full armor of God and you'll be okay. And tell the truth. And also it says don't be lukewarm. Either you're hot or you're cold. But if you're lukewarm, you get spit out. So you can't be on the one hand a Christian and claim to be all his shows like, he has a big Christian following. And then he's like a hypocrite. He lies. Same thing with Dustin Nemos. I'm sorry, but if you're claiming to be a Christian and you're lying, you're not a Christian. You're a satanic Christian. Take a look in the fucking mirror, people. You can't run around claiming to be Buddhist and worshiping, I don't know, a pile of shit. That's not Buddhism. That's worshiping a pile of shit. And then what happens is I tell these people wearing this hat, so I could do it, because this hat gives me permission. This hat, along with saying on information and belief, on inside sources, and sources have corroborated my suspicions. Like I said, people, you could, I guess, according to these Christians, you could be caught having sex with anybody, and your partner walks in. And then you could pull that song, Wasn't Me. What was that song? It Wasn't Me.
It Wasn't Me, yeah.
It Wasn't Me. Do you have that song? Can you play that?
I don't have
that's
that.
What we're getting to
here,
now. But let's sing it together, man, because these Christians now, they're like, oh yeah, as long as I do this cross and I go to church and I
then you're
ask
safe.
God for
It's
forgiveness,
okay.
then I'm cool. Meanwhile, I could be like Charlie Kirk, Erica's wife, getting black trained.
Oh my.
Where she's not even worried, where was he buried? Why wasn't there a funeral? It's all nonsense, people. We're watching a show. This show, the Truth Teller community, is apparently, because it's filled with such perverts and weirdos, according to sources.
By the way, do you feel that way about me since I'm not on camera, by the way?
Absolutely.
You feel that I'm a coward?
I feel that way. Yeah.
You're calling me a coward now. Wow, Victor. Yeah, now you're just crossing the fucking line. I can't believe this. This is outrageous.
No,
I know. I'll be honest though. Look,
I know. Listen, no. You don't need to show your face. You don't need to show.
The thing is, I don't own a webcam though. I'm on a computer that's ancient.
Yeah, I get it. Listen,
but the thing is, Victor, hold on. Just let me tell you.
Think I'm kissing your ass. Though,
no, hold on. The thing is, I do have. The case.
I'm not.
There is photographic evidence of me out there online, and I've shown my face plenty of times. Handsome. People online have seen it. I have non-nudes, of course. Just for the record, I have nothing crazy.
Of course.
I'm very real. Unfortunately, for some, I just don't want to have that perception of me as far as I'm far as from a coward. By the way, I'm all about that action, as they say in the streets of Los Angeles. So, I'm plenty real.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out.
I mean, I could even show you some other, like if you had an iPhone, if you had the, the phone that's made by the small little hands in China, the slave labor children. But of course, Victor, I show my face all the time to listeners, all kinds of stuff, I
just want to tell the audience, I'm not kissing his ass. I know he's a handsome guy. I've seen what he looks like. I'm glad he's not on there because that way it makes me look prettier.
That's right.
For an 86-year-old man, I've had to go through a lot of facelifts and Botox to look this good. I don't need your freaking pretty mug coming on competing with me.
Well, here's the thing, though. The show's always been.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. But here's
You're not a coward.
This has always been a podcast before I ever did anything else. Like, it's always been audio only, so I've kept it that way traditionally, just to keep it real, keep it old school. But no, if I was ever going to be on video, I would want something, like something outrageous going on in the background. I don't want, and no offense to you or anybody else, that's not what I mean.
Midget wrestling.
I need something.
Midget wrestling.
Anything that's outrageous, I would kind of want. It's more fitting for me.
Nice.
But
so we'll definitely have to do something together
in the future.
We'll do something together. More outrageous than this. The allegations of Sean from SG2.
Okay, hold on.
Humping a camel on Epstein Island.
There's another figure though that you did mention already, and I don't know anything about her. You mentioned this figure by the name of Hope Girl. Another person another person I've never heard of. I don't know them at all. I can't say anything negative about her. I don't know anything about her, so I can't exactly trash her. At all.
There's no trashing. She's the main researcher, admittedly, from Sean Turnbull of SG2 Report.
Okay, so there's a relation there.
To be a Christian.
Okay,
and she's also connected to James Fetzer, who considers her also, and he considers Susan Bradford, the one who sucks off the Chihuahua on Epstein's Island, apparently, while she's jerking Jim Fetzer off. She's Susan Bradford, he says in his own words that she's the most incredible researcher ever. Anything she says, you have to believe it. Mind you, she's the one who says that I am working for Sandy Hook Promise and stuff, making millions of dollars and working for the FBI and Mossad. I'm a Mossad agent. So it's listen, if you believe that, then it's not far off that you would believe that she's sucking off chihuahuas on Epstein Island while giving James Fetzer handjobs while Hope Girl is shoving raw meat up his anus so that it can get, chowed down on by pit bulls and Rottweilers because he's into that kind of stuff. So, again, people, you choose what you want to believe. Either I'm a quadruple CIA double Mossad agent working for the cockeyed Kash Patel.
Right.
Or these fucking people are a bunch of weirdos hanging out on Epstein Island with former presidents and present presidents.
And from what I know, she lives in Morocco. I don't exactly know why. I don't know the lore.
She's hiding out, according to sources. According to on information and belief, she's hiding out in Morocco because she's a child molester.
And the only reason why I know of her is because of you through your channel when you first introduced her. And then I went to one of her channels on BitChute, and the first thing I see is her next to some black gentleman who I think is her husband, or I perceive it to be her husband, as the black folks say, as my brothers say. Is that your husband?
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you like
I
that
like
guy.
that guy.
Okay.
I like her mother. I got nothing against any of these people.
I don't either. I don't know anything about them.
To my knowledge, said any lies about me. But one thing will happen if, again, we're in the age of deception. This is the apocalypse. The veil is being lifted.
Right.
If somebody comes out with some bullshit about me being a quadruple CIA double Mossad agent working for Kash Patel making millions of dollars.
Right.
That's not a hard thing to have receipts for.
True.
So if you're gonna say that shit, don't be surprised if I literally take a clip of you saying that stupid shit and then posting it on my channels. If you're gonna sue Rumble and BitChute because I posted the stupid shit that you said you got from inside sources and sources that have corroborated your stupidity and on information and belief, then I'm gonna post the truth to counter your nonsense. And if you don't like it, that's tough fucking luck on you, man. And I don't care if you're Stu Peters or you're Mike Adams or you're Alex fucking Jones. The shit is real right now. Blacks are about ready to eat whites. I don't know how many times I got to tell.
My goodness.
Listen, is this thing on?
That's on.
If you're a cracker, you better watch out. If you see blackies running down the street chasing you with dirty Sanchez ketchup, you better watch out because they're gonna have a party on your ass. And don't be surprised if you end up seeing Susan Bradford, James Fetzer, Sean Turnbull, and all these other Hope Girl weirdos out there with Chihuahuas and Rottweilers and Pit Bulls, because that's the world we're living in. Bunch of bullshit, people. So enjoy it. That's what I do. I'm using satire,
right,
to poke fun at these fucks because they've turned it into, like I said, I used to respect Stu Peters. I like the guy. I actually defended him whenever Dustin Nemos would come on my channel and tell me that Stu Peters was a Jew.
I'm going to go in on Stu Peters in a moment here, but hold on. Stay calm. Stay calm like that. There we go. Nice. And calm. Zen. Okay, so she lives in Morocco. I don't know why exactly. And evidently you were on a show with her on the SGT report, by the way, where she claims that she tried to help you along with Sean, the host of the SGT report. Is there truth to that? Did they actually try to help you at one time, Victor? Did you collect funds from either one of them through a joint effort on you being on this program? Did you make money from these programs, Victor? Yes or no?
That's a good question. And this is how it worked. I went on her show, and it's to this day the highest rated show that she's had on her channel. All the shows collectively together don't even add up to the number that she had. So on that show, which was a warning to the world about what I knew about the whole COVID psyop, she says she ended up selling like a ridiculous amount of the products that she shills on her channel.
Really?
And she sent me some samples of that for me to test.
Okay.
Again, I didn't ask for this stuff. I didn't say, can you please send me this stuff? There's no evidence of any of that.
Right.
But she did send me those products. And then she said, hey, listen, if you want, you could be, I don't know, one of those people who sells the stuff, and whatever sell you get a percentage of.
Oh, like Avon.
And I was like,
back in the day.
Yeah. So you can go back, and on my channel, you could see that for a period of time, I was actually advertising her stuff.
Oh, you were advertising
on
her
my
stuff.
channel. Yeah, like if you want this, go ahead. So she sent me that money, she said, because of the sales that I had made.
Okay.
What's interesting is, I guess I still am, like, I don't know, they call it an affiliate or something like that. So
Right.
I don't know if people are, all I know is
An affiliate,
when
yeah.
I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, do I have any money coming to me or anything like that? She never answered me back. So I don't even know if she's making money off my stuff or what. Like I said, I'm not going to be chasing these people down for nickels and dimes. But yeah, that's even taken out of context. She helped me. She paid me for the sales that she made. And she must have made like a lot of sales. It wasn't that much money, but still, like, look at the numbers on that show. So anyway, well, she's a business person. I get it, Yeah. But I don't get paid to go on these shows. You're not paying me to go on the show. People think that I got paid for the Jim Fetzer show. I'm like, are you
Really?
kidding me? Yeah, I don't get paid to go on Stu Peters or Mike Adams.
And normally that's not how it
or
works,
shows. That's why I'm saying it turns out this arena is full of a bunch of fucking people who just all work together. They're like, and I'm not part of that team because I don't play along with the bullshit with the lies.
I know that personally.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that firsthand because I've been invited to a lot of these conferences. The UFO shit, all that sort of nonsense. And I like it. It's fun. I like being there, and I've been invited plenty of times. But then when it comes down to it, if they actually want me to speak, you get all these people saying, oh, I don't want him on. Don't bring him on here. So it's like, yeah, you definitely have to get along with these, quote unquote, get along with these people, even if you know they're full of shit. You still have to sort of scratch their back and blow smoke up their ass, tell them how great they are, and they're just a well-researcher, well done, sort of a well-spoken, well-coordinated sort of researcher. They need people that are going to get along. They don't want any drama. They don't want anyone being telling the truth, Victor. And it seems like this is no different than the quote unquote alternative realm or alternative media, whatever it's called these days, which I'm not a part of either. I don't feel like I'm a part of any of these groups or circles. I'm not really down with that. I think that's for faggots.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm glad that you said that, because I don't consider myself part of that. I'm not in the truth teller arena. that thing is a bunch of liars, compulsive liars. If you tell me I'm in the truth teller arena, that's an insult.
You don't want to be there,
Like, to
though,
tell
Victor,
me that, are you kidding me?
You don't want to be
And
with
then
these
to tell
people.
me that I'm alt news media? Holy cow, they're feeding you sweets and telling you lies. If you still believe X22 report or SGT report, I don't know what to tell you. Literally, you probably have been like jabbed a number of times and there's not much hope for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm past that point now. Now I'm like, I have a niche audience just like you.
Right.
Either they get it or they don't.
Or they don't.
If you don't
That's
get
fine.
it and you're like offended by anything that I'm saying, you're offended by the wrong thing, people. Like 280 something thousand children disappear. I don't know if
Right.
it's like every day or every year, whatever it is, it's like 288,000 too many, you know? And you're over here worried about me talking about, you know, James Fetzer getting raw steaks shoved up his ass. You're worried about the wrong thing, people. I'm
agree.
a freaking comedian. You know,
I
I'm
agree.
a commenter on the zeitgeist that's going on right now.
So here's
And
another
if you
thing,
don't-
though, by the way, Victor.
Yeah.
Just to finish up with Hope Girl, I did have a few more things to say in
Okay,
regards
all
to Hope Girl. So she's saying that she was going to leave some comments up saying that anyone could see the operation in all its glory. And I quote, Victor Hugo lives in, near this place in Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
We know that. But
yeah, yeah.
she's saying that Georgia does not have treaties protecting you, Victor, from getting deported for his crimes, quote unquote. And right now, a
Yeah.
bunch of us are considering going international and reporting Victor to the authorities in Georgia because
Yes,
we
of
know that
course.
Victor has overstayed his visa and is currently hiding out in that country illegally. And I just wanted to get your thoughts and opinions. And, you know, she's saying that she's going to get you in trouble and then you're going to get deported back to the U.S. where you will be faced with various crimes and to be hung dry, she said. It's only a matter of time, Victor. And use all the sock puppet counts you want. She knows it's you. Is basically what she's saying in this. She's insinuating that. And Victor, what does she mean by being charged with crimes? What did you do in America? I'm curious. Did you eat a Blackie or a Jew?
And that is exactly the point of what I'm making. Everything that you just read,
Which is a comment from her.
Which was devoid of so much fact that you have to ask me that. Whereas with Dustin Nemos, there's literally a rap sheet that's public, and you could see the cyber stalking convictions, the felonies, all this stuff. And then you wonder how it is that he got close to the president with Mar-a-Lago and was hanging out with the General Flynn family. So the point is, she's saying this stuff. If there was any evidence of any of what she said, it would be out there already. There are so many people. This is like quite literally the David versus Goliath thing. I've got Stu Peters on my ass. I've got Mike Adams on my ass. I've got James Fetzer, Russ Herpes Winter, Joaquin, the alleged pedophile Hagopian. What is this? Hope Girl.
Got a lot of friends.
Yeah, I got a lot of people. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if there was anything out there, they would have found it. You wouldn't have had to have asked me that question because I would have been like, oh my God, yeah, I ate a Blackie, you know?
Okay.
I was convicted. But there ain't shit out there. So I'd have to sit here and like make stuff up, which is why when I see that stuff, I'm like, okay, first of all, you don't have me in the right place. And she has no, like, it's so stupid, these researchers. All you got to do is type in Huiping Wang, Huiping, space, last name, Wang, Wang. It's a terrorism case. I reported it to the U.S. Embassy, to the Georgian Embassy, to everybody, but nobody ever talks about it. I also send out press releases. Michael Decon, I think you've gotten some of those press releases. I have. Yeah. Well, nobody wants to talk about the terrorists that are inside China right now, which I've been warning people about. Because remember, they tried to recruit me. I was supposed to be a traitor to my country. People forget this while they're busy talking shit. So no, I'm being protected by this government because I'm a primary witness. And they're not going to send me back because of some cockamamie shit that this alleged child molester, or actually inside sources tell me that she is a child molester and she's into bestiality. She's the one who was, I think she was, good God, I don't even want to say what she was doing with animals. But anyway,
is that true though? Is that true though? On a side note, is that based on any bits of truth, or is that satirical?
It's based on the same. No, it's based on the same inside sources that Naima Fagan, aka Hope Girl, who's SGT Report's researcher. You got to understand, these people. I'm in a boxing ring with these idiots. They think they can put out all that shit that you just read to me,
right?
And then expect me to what do I answer? It's all bullshit. That's my answer. Everything that she wrote, including like where I am and like what crimes. So Georgia and the United States is going to give up a terrorist case that may come to fruition, because I got news for you. The Huaiping Wang army is in the United States. ICE ain't chasing them down. So there's something going on in the USA. I know this. But no, these people who were supposed to be news reporters like Stu Peters and stuff like that, they think this is a high school girls fighting. No. I came into a ring. I didn't realize, instead of having heavyweights, what I had was a bunch of high school girls. And they're literally telling you shit from inside sources and people with their beliefs and stuff, but they don't have any facts. And I bring facts. And the fact is, you want to see a rap sheet? It's Dustin Nemos. And Dustin Nemos is aligned with Fetzer. He's aligned with Hope Girl. He's aligned with Susan Bradford. Like I said, these people are snakes.
Understood. Okay.
They surround themselves with others who are willing to go along with the lie. Because now Dustin Nemos is perpetuating the same lie that Fetzer did a long time ago, was already debunked, that I'm stolen valor and not a veteran and yada, 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 I'm a Jew. It's like, holy cow. These people, it's like, yeah, it is like high school people.
It's no different than the audiences that I come across with different guests on here. Yeah, again, it's all part of that weird circuit to, they go along to get along, essentially, and that's pretty much what we're getting at here. But yes, moving on to Stu Peters. At one time, you liked Stu Peters, though. It seems like you were a bit of a fan. You emailed him to be on his program. What exactly happened with Stu Peters? And for the record, where do you stand with Stu Peters currently? Because sometimes I feel like you were on board with him. It seems like you like him at times. Other times you don't really like him. What is the truth to this, Victor? Do you like him? Do you not like him? What are your thoughts?
I like all these people. I like all these people. But like I said, if you get into an elevator with a bunch of people and you really don't know them, and then you smell something weird, like somebody farted, it's not that I don't like you anymore, but I'm uncomfortable near you, because now I know that you're the kind of person that farts in an elevator, and doesn't say, excuse me. So anyway, that's how I feel with these people. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that they're farting up the space that I'm in.
I understand that completely.
And it's disgusting.
I get it.
So with Stu Peters, like at first I got into the elevator with Stu Peters and I was like, all right, cool. The guy wears a tie. He's well-spoken. Everything is cool. And then I noticed that I go on his show and I break the story that I already told on your show with the Sandy Hook treason with Win Young.
Right.
And so I go on the show and I share that breaking news with him. And then the next day I hear James Fetzer bragging that he called up the producers from Stu Peters and told them that they need to rectify the situation, was his exact words. Words. You can look it up.
Rectify.
James Fetzer's like, yeah. I called the producers over at Stu Peters and told them they need to rectify the situation. And I'm going on Stu Peters' show. So he ends up in 48 hours going on Stu Peters' show, just rattling off like rat, tat, 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 Machine Gun Kelly word salad about the JFK files that were not even fully released. Anyway, it was such a ridiculous situation that Stu Peters actually stopped and say, do you have any evidence to back up like what you're saying? Have you even read the files? And Fetzer responds, exact words, no, but my sources.
His sources, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Again, with these, in sources that allow you to say absolutely anything. So Stu Peters didn't even stop him, but what he did do was he censored the video that I did. And he did it in a real way that was like sneaky. He set the video to private and restricted.
Oh, I see.
So the only way you could watch the video, which I was promoting on Gab and other platforms, people were like, "Hey, man, we can't see the video. We need the password and the code. There's like 2 things you got to put in there." And I contacted the producers and I contacted Stu. I said, "Hey, man, like people are saying they can't see the video. What's up?"
That sounds pretty kosher to me.
Yeah. So I called him out on it. I was like, "Dude, what is this? James Fetzer calls you and your producers, and then within 48 hours, the video's censored, and you got Jim Fetzer on talking shit to your audience." I mean, I talk this way to you. I talk this way to anybody.
Sure.
And Stu Peters got mad at me.
He got mad at you.
That reality out. He got mad at me, and I shared the email. He told me to go fuck myself.
Wow.
Much,
So in other words, you're not on good standings with Stu Peters, for the record.
I am on good standing with Stu Peters. I'll tell you why.
Even after he said that to you.
I'll tell you why. He's got a good following. He's got a good platform.
So it's based on the audience.
Matters.
Then. So he could talk to you that way because he has a big audience, is what you're saying.
No. Hold on a second.
So he could sun you because he has a big audience. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You're going to let him talk to you like that, Victor?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I read the email, but the thing is, I was defending him against the charges that people make against him of being Jewish, of being controlled opposition, of being working for the Jews and everything.
Is that not true, though?
Yes. Well, let me explain to you.
I'm listening.
I was defending him because, again, I didn't know these things. The first indication that I got that something was not kosher with Stu Peters was when he sent me that email, which I didn't send him that as a, hey, listen, I was like, hey, did you know that your producers are doing this? Like,
I see.
This is not good. I was like, I would do the same thing to you, Michael. Like, something like, I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if you know this, but like your video's not playing. And you'd be like, oh, really? I didn't know that. I'd be like, yeah, people are telling me it's not playing. You may want to check it out, But then when I found out that Fetzer was bragging about it, then I was like, hey, this kind of like doesn't make you look good.
It doesn't.
And that's the truth, So then after that, I was still defending him against allegations of being Jewish and working for Jews because I didn't know that. But then I started doing my research. And again, this is why I say it's not that I don't like people. You go into an elevator, somebody farts, there's 5 people in that elevator. You can't just point to one person and say, hold on a second, you farted,
Right.
You got to wait. You got to wait. You got to start looking. You got to look at their facial expressions. You got to see if they're, if they're jiggling their pants a little bit or something, letting some air out. So you're like, okay. And then you make up your mind. So that's what I started doing with Stu Peters. And then I started realizing, hey, he does have kind of a big nose. That doesn't mean he's Jewish, but, whatever. And then he did, show that he was working for Jews, the gold people and stuff like that.
Right.
And I don't know. So I was like, yeah, okay. I don't know. Maybe he is, And so the more that time goes by, the more I'm starting to realize, yeah, it turns out he is controlled opposition and he has a big audience. And that is a shame because just like Tucker Carlson and these other people, they have a big voice. So now what ends up happening is I'm like, oh, shit. It turns out he appears to be controlled opposition, at least from what I'm noticing. And I continue to write him because I'm like, I'm hoping this isn't true. It's like if I found out you were hanging out with James Fetzer and Hope Girl on Epstein's Island. It would break my heart, Michael. You know what I'm saying? And I would have to ask you, is that true?
Right.
So yeah, it breaks my heart that Stu Peters may be controlled opposition, but I see how he's been reacting, especially with what happened with Christopher the Cup Key and how James Fetzer went on his channel and did the same thing that he did to Stu Peters' channel. That's why James Fetzer's known as the Reputation Wrecking Ball. He tried the same stuff on your show. When he came on your show, he was tattling out some freaking lies. And I was like, holy cow. Then I went on your show and I was like, I remember I called you out on it. I talked straight with you, Michael. And I was like, no, that was a lie. Then I brought Win Young on and Win Young straightened the whole thing out. Now, this is amazing because, what's his name? Christopher the Cuck Key had me and Win Young on a show for like over 2 hours. We laid it all out like we did on your show.
And who's Christopher again? Sorry, who's that?
He's the guy who has a show on Stu Peters' network.
Oh, okay, okay.
with the producer Zachary Winkle.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's a
got you.
reflection. It's a reflection on Stu Peters' network. That's why I've been calling Stu Peters and saying, not calling, but emailing him
Yeah, got you.
and saying, "Hey, listen, man, you may want to keep an eye on this Zachary Winkle producer and Christopher the Cuck Key because they're turning your channel into the Comedy Central." They had James Fetzer on the show, and it was titled Sandy Hook, and it was supposed to be about Sandy Hook. It turned out to be like 2 hours about me. And all
Wow.
the
Did you feel honored, by the way?
sources have, yeah, it was funny. It was like sources have corroborated that Victor Hugo is a Jew, that he's working for the Mossad, and Christopher Cuck is just like not like you. You're a better journalist than any of those guys. Like you're asking me questions. You're putting my feet to the fire, and you're like said you're a podcaster. These people are journalists. James Fetzer's sitting there telling them a bunch of like sources told me this and corroborated my beliefs. And dude, you could take your beliefs and shove them up your ass because everybody's got beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not tuning into CNN and NBC or 60 Minutes to hear people's beliefs. What
I agree.
The fuck, man?
I agree.
You know?
And in regards to Stu Peters, I've seen a few clips of him posted on X, and I'm well aware that he's helped bring some things to light for people that don't know out there, and that's good, don't get me wrong. However, personally, I can't really take anyone serious who tries to portray themselves as always being angry. I mean, come on now. This guy also had the nerve to launch his own cryptocurrency coin. I believe it was called J-Proof off the top of my head. I believe that was the name. He did a classic rug and pull, as they call it in the biz. And that sounds like it's in his DNA to be honest with me, but that's just my opinion. But hey, it's not against the law to take advantage of people's ignorances, and that's kind of what he did. And the sitting president has made a career out of that, Victor. So, in essence, this angry gimmick he's taken on, this act per se, it seems exhausting and disingenuous in my opinion. No different than an actor. You're already on camera. How are you really gonna be mad? In my opinion, how are you gonna be mad when you're on a big elaborate set, Victor? Probably that was funded by the JWs, which we have already established, most likely. You're no longer that wigger rapping trying to obtain fame and fortune, Stu. I got to call you out on that. You're no longer a wigger rapping, Stu. You made it. You're famous now. You've made a fortune. Let go of the phony facade. I just don't buy it, Victor. He's a bit of a cornball. He was a rapper at one time, a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter then turned rapper, I think it goes. I'm not quite sure the order, but he's only been allowed to get popular online. And I think immediately who's been funding him and why. So basically, he's a bit of a crypto J-dub that married another J-dub at one time. Same applies to Alex Jones, in my opinion. And I don't hate any of these people. I have nothing but love in my heart. I just don't support the satanic Zionist order, Victor.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree with everything that you just said. And like I said, it took me time to learn these things about people because I also have a life that I'm living. And so I don't spend my time just always thinking about people, I don't do my research on you. I know you from the shows that we do, and you seem like a nice enough chat, but I don't spend my whole day and night like looking into who you are unless you send me a red flag. And yeah, that J-Proof thing was another red flag because I remember he had Jeff Berwick on and he asked Jeff Berwick live what he thought of J-Proof. And that really put Jeff Berwick in an awkward situation. And I appreciate the way that Jeff Berwick handled that. I consider Jeff Berwick someone that I respect in the community. I also consider him a friend. Because I consider him a friend, he's also been put on this attack list. Everybody from Dustin Nemos, again, all the same characters, all the ones with police records, and they've all been arrested. And the commonality here is that you see how they are COINTELPRO, controlled opposition, working as intelligence assets and government agents. And they even tell me in their own emails. So when I say these things, the sources that I'm getting this from are actually their own reliable sources. So that's the interesting thing about it. But the point is, I forgot what the point was that I was making. Oh, that these people, what happens is they've got arrest records, like Dustin Nemos, right? Same thing with James Fetzer. And then you wonder about these other people, Stu Peters, also all arrest records. So what happens is the government will come in and they'll say, hey, listen, man, we're going to make a deal with you. you can either do who knows how many years in jail for this felony, or you can become the king of Q, like they did with Dustin. All of a sudden, this young guy is making 6 figures a month, got a bestseller, hanging out at Mar-a-Lago, and chilling with the Flynn family, the General Flynn family, who, like I said, is allegedly involved in human trafficking, money laundering, and child trafficking that Sean Turnbull from SGT Report didn't want to talk about. And he promised he would do something with Hope Girl and research it, but they never did. Because these people, again, like I said, they're cowards. You either cover a story or you don't cover a story. But you don't tell me not to talk about Elon Musk when Elon Musk is working with Starlink and 5G T-Mobile to possibly kill people. So let's talk about that, So anyway, what they end up telling them is this is what we're going to do. So next thing you know, Dustin Nemos goes from having several felonies, possession of stolen weapons and stuff like that, to being at Mar-a-Lago. Dude, who gets there that quickly? Plus, he changes his name. His real name is Dustin Craig Krieger. They give you a new identity. That's why you got SGT Report. Who is this guy? There's not even a single picture of this guy out there. Is he even real?
Outrageous.
So, yeah, I looked for a picture of that guy. There's no picture. I put a picture, and then one of the viewers told me, hey, by the way, that's the photo of the journalist from the Washington Post or something that did an article about him, but there's no photo of this guy. How do you get to be that famous with so many followers and nobody knows what you look like?
Interesting. Yeah, that's another strange twist here in the story in regards to this Sean from SGT Report, as you're referring to. But yes, the other name that you mentioned, Dustin Nemos. Now, this is another gentleman that you did numerous shows with. Now, I only know him because of you, though, Victor. I've never had heard of him before, and I thought he seemed like a nice enough fella. I have no issues with him.
Yeah, I did too.
I have nothing against him. I don't know anything about him, except for what you said about him, and that's about it. But evidently, he does have a rather long rap sheet, and again, I'm not holding that against him. I just, I've read a few things, I've heard a few things, drugs, the Mel Juggalo angle, and I can look past that sort of things because that's life sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. I could, I understand. But yeah, his sort of trajectory took a pretty strange turn there, and I do, just like Stu Peters. I mean, a bounty hunter. Then he became a rapper of sorts, which is kind of weird. I find that highly questionable, by the way. For the record, don't you think that's kind of weird? You're like a wigger at one day, and then all of a sudden you're like Anderson Cooper, basically, except angry.
Well, yeah, Michael, and I know some people in the chat may think that this is drama, but no, this is what you all need to know.
This is real shit. This is not drama. This is real fucking shit going on.
We're giving you the behind the scenes that they don't want you to know. You're watching a show, people. The Mossad was correct when they went on CBS News 60 Minutes and told you that they are the producers, the directors, the screenwriters. They're even using the battles that they're launching against me to keep everybody distracted. That's why I continue to do the interviews, and what I do is I just play clips of them because they may think they have free real estate in my mind, but they don't. I want them to have real estate in your mind, the viewer. I want you to all realize that they're lying to you. And I'm telling you the cold, hard truth using satire the way Hustler magazine did with Swaggart.
Right. And
that's why I say those things, because inside of everything there's a little bit of truth. It's really weird to me that this guy, Russ Herpes Winter, he's known as, because he told everybody on James Fetzer's show that everybody has herpes, including you, me, everybody in the chat section, everybody.
We've all got it.
Yeah, we've all got it.
We've been infected.
And then James Fetzer comes out and backs him up. And I'm like, hold on a second, man. I don't have herpes. Like everybody but me then.
Yeah, everyone but
you.
I
know I don't have herpes. Yeah, everybody but me. And so then they get mad at me because I pointed out that he's bragging that he had herpes since he was 20 years old. I'm like, my God, this guy's like 70 something. How many people has this guy given herpes to in his life that he finds it so funny? Because I don't know about you, but I don't find herpes a laughing matter. If I had it, I wouldn't be laughing about it.
I wouldn't be telling people about it either if I was him.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they
Well,
go and start to lie.
Well,
you know,
evidently he
that
didn't tell a lot of
that
people, allegedly.
that's the whole thing. I literally, you could see it. I put it out like every month as a monthly reminder that everybody has herpes. It's a public service announcement that I do because I didn't realize, thanks to the researchers at the RBN network and the Revolution Radio, which is another, like, the guy who founded that thing was in jail for child pornography. These people,
Which
are
is a
all
fact, by
connected
the
to-
way. It's on record.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
what I'm
making it
saying.
up.
Like, dude, these people think I'm kidding, man. I'm like surrounded by liars and pedophiles. Russ Herpes Winter, his own friend, Charles Carter, who's a reliable source according to James Fetzer because he cites him all the time, came on my show and said that Russ Herpes Winter had sex with 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds, and that's why he's hiding out in the Czech Republic.
Jesus.
This is a guy
That's pretty
who is
crazy.
a source,
If it's
a
true.
reliable source. Yeah. And he's a friend of Russ Herpes Winter.
Oh, vey.
So it's like, wait a minute, this guy knows, you know? So these are the people that, on the one hand, you're supposed to believe what they say or not believe what they say. Well, what's the truth? Is Russ Herpes Winter a pedophile or not? Does he have herpes or not? Does everybody has herpes or not? These are questions I ask like you ask. But nobody else is asking, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, then this isn't the Truth Teller community. This is the clown show. This is the Stu Peters Comedy Network. You know, I thought this was to be taken seriously. So that's it, man. It's like, you know, I don't consider myself like you. We're not news shows. I don't know what this is exactly that we do. I'm just having fun, you know?
Yeah, we're just having
And
fun.
I'm letting the audience eavesdrop. If you think I'm, I don't know, a Jew or like, I don't know, whatever, that's great. Listen, I'm glad you're thinking of me because I had a guy when I was doing show at Art Basel, Miami, and he walks me out the door. He goes, I want you to see something. And this was before the doors opened. There was a line around the corner. He's like, we're not going to be able to fit everybody. We're going to have to hold your show over through New Year's. Do you mind? I was like, holy cow, man. I had the biggest show during Art Basel, Miami. And it was a weird feeling because the doors were closed. Like we weren't open yet. So like, I'm nervous. I'm thinking nobody's going to show up. What a feeling. That's when I was like, holy cow, man, people get me. They get me because they know that I'm real, dude. I'm not part of these actors. You know what I'm saying? When I go on the Stu Peters show, I'm me. When I go on James Fetzer's show, I'm me. When I go on Mike Adams' show, I'm me. When I go on Gareth Ike's show, I'm me. The reason I know I'm me is because I end up getting censored. There's something I said that they don't want you to hear. And I'm like, wow, okay. So you're not really free speech, but you claim to be free speech. So you're a liar.
Amazing stuff.
You know? Yeah.
It really
so
is.
again, I got nothing against these people. I get it. They're trying to make a living.
But
they
you
don't
know, you
understand
liked
this.
him.
They're selling their souls.
Going back to Dustin really quickly, you know, it seemed like you liked him at least, you know, on
I
the
did.
surface level. You guys did a lot of shows together.
Totally.
But did you not
I was
know?
shocked.
Did you not know about all this stuff that he had done? Not that you need to know, but you didn't know that beforehand, though. You didn't know that he was like a male prostitute, that he was dancing around.
You know
That's
what?
the deal.
I heard about that, and I questioned him about that when he came on my show. I was, you know, that's the whole thing. I don't know. People that come on my show are pretty brave.
I don't hold it against him, though. I mean, if that's what he had to do to get by, I mean, who am I to be angry at him for, you know, doing that?
Well,
it's his life, not mine.
Why,
you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you why I think that's dangerous and why I'm noticing that he's like the modern day Jim Jones, because he's got a cult. The people in his cult are crazy. I know because they come on my channel and they say things that are fine. You could say whatever you want, but it's definitely not Christian. Like, don't come to me and tell me that you're Christian and then telling me that you're going to come kill me or that I'm a cunt or that I'm this, that.
And yeah, I've heard you mention
fine.
that he runs some sort of cult. Do you?
Yeah.
So he really does have a cult, though.
Yeah, man. His cult followers contacted me. That's how this whole thing happened. I had members of the congregation that he's now doxing and attacking and stuff. This girl named Jamie something. Anyway, some people from his congregation contacted me. And they said, hey, you know, we want to warn you about what's going on with Dustin Nemos. And I said, well, you do know I have a show with him every week, so I can't really I'm going to have to ask him if he would like to participate because I can't just have you come on the show and talk crap about him behind his back.
Right.
I said, so let me ask him if it's okay if you debate him and I'll moderate.
Okay.
So I reach out to Dustin. I'm like, listen, I'm getting stuff from people who know you that are telling me some pretty not good things about you. And, I want to give you the opportunity to defend yourself because I think that, again, the golden rule, man, I wouldn't want that done to me,
Understand.
So I said, okay, we'll set it up. He goes, I really don't like to debate lightweights. But, if you think, and I said, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea because she may be a lightweight, but she's got some pretty severe allegations against you. So anyway, long story short, she goes on what he has like a church sermon. Like he's got this digital, that's why I call him the digital Jim Jones. Now the church isn't just people locally. He has the ability to convince people to murder themselves, to suicide themselves around the world. I'm getting messages from people in New Zealand and Switzerland and stuff. This guy's got big reach. So he could actually cause more damage if he decides to go, suicidal and tell everybody to drink the Kool-Aid. And so she went on the show and he was not allowing her to share the screen. She said she had evidence. Anyway, I heard it and he cut her off and didn't allow her to show the evidence. So then they were supposed to come on and debate on my show and I was supposed to moderate. Turns out she didn't show up. And then I get an email from someone, not her, telling me that the reason she didn't show up was because she was terrified of him.
I see.
So it was supposed to be a debate between Dustin Nemos and members of his congregation. And then it turned into a situation that was awkward that happened 48 hours before that, which had nothing to do with the other. It turns out that this woman, who again seems to be controlled opposition, Verhuli something or other, I forgot her name. She comes into this whole mix claiming that she can help Sonavinos, who's my friend who has been arrested.
Yeah, the Canadian.
In Canada. Yeah, held in maximum security prison.
We have a mutual
over 100 days.
We got a mutual buddy though in Canada, in Canada. Also, he appeared on your program by the name of Eugene. And well, he's been on the program before. He emailed me wanting to be on the show, and I thought, sure, why not? So we do the interview, and a few months later, he's emailing me telling me that the school board has pretty much gotten rid of him because of the program we did.
What?
Correct.
Really?
That's what he told me.
Why?
I deleted. I deleted that episode, but it was too late though. I mean, the school board already had got him fired and restricted from the school district out there in that Providence.
But you know what though? He's still managing, and that's good because I'll tell you what. He got the message out, and people are afraid to do what he does. And that guy was a warrior, and he's a fighter. And this is a spiritual battle, people. You may have to lose your job. You may have to lose your life. This isn't a game. So those keyboard warriors out there that are like, this, that, and the other thing, you guys are the lukewarm stuff that's going to get spit out. This is a serious fight, and you may have to lose your job over it. So I commend him because, he came on my show. And no, I didn't take the video down because I don't do that. I don't censor. When people come on the show, they know this is uncensored. I've had people tell me, hey, listen, can you edit this part out? I go, no, I can't.
I took it down though. I mean,
everybody.
I had to do it because if you request me to take it down, more often than not, then I'll do it out of common courtesy. If something severe is going on, then I understand that. Then I'll remove it. But it was too late though. The damage had already been dealt, Victor.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
which is unfortunate.
That should have made news. He should come back on your show. He should come back on my show, and we should talk about that.
I agree.
That's newsworthy. You know what I'm saying? People may call this drama, but this is real life, people. Yeah, this isn't a game. People come on the show, they say the truth, and they lose their job.
That's the reality.
What world is this?
That's the reality we're in.
It's
insane. It's insane. And yes, you obviously are talking about a different case, though, another Canadian who also has been locked up. And essentially that sort of thing will be coming to America. It will be coming to your door sooner than later, boys and girls.
Yeah, and nobody's doing anything about it. That's why I'm saying these are the things that you and I talk about. Sometimes we're funny, but sometimes we get serious because, the way I survive is through comedy.
It's pretty
Really,
serious at
because
times,
again,
though.
yeah. But you have to laugh about what you're seeing because
Absolutely.
it's so ridiculous, man.
No, I
See,
agree.
that's the whole thing. The public has bought the lies to such an extent that they're not even hiding it anymore.
Oh, it's
The
right in
whole
front of
Charlie
you.
Kirk thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the whole Charlie Kirk thing is just so ridiculous stuff. And then you've got guys like SGT Report saying, "Oh yeah, he really died," and "Oh, Trump was really attempted assassination." It's like, dude, listen, are you really that stupid, or are you just saying this because you're controlled opposition? I mean,
right.
so yeah, and I have to laugh at that because I'm like, really, you really believe that somehow they got a better assassin for Charlie Kirk than they did for the president of the United States? I mean, you really think so? That some kid
Right.
was able to hit Charlie Kirk from a huge distance. Meanwhile, the guy, they even had, listen, the CIA doesn't miss. They
No,
didn't hit.
they don't miss.
And Trump's ear just healed. I met the guy who had his ear bit off by Tyson. I met him at a party one time over at one of the Whalers, actually Bob Marley's house where he died in Miami. I went to a birthday party of, I think it was Holyfield.
Oh, really?
Oh no! It was another boxer guy. Anyway, yeah, that guy's ear never healed, but Trump's with a bullet the size that was supposed to have grazed his ear is fine now. I mean, people really. And the same thing with Charlie Kirk. His head would have exploded like the guy in the movie Scanners.
And
That whole thing is nonsense.
by the way, sooner or later, you'll be seeing that screenshot there that everybody's looking at. And that's the widow of Charlie Kirk wearing some extremely tight pants right there. Some black leather pants. She looks very appropriate for this evening, right?
I don't know what's going on. The United States is the modern Weimerica. If you don't know what the Weimar Republic was, you should really look it up. It was total decadence. I mean, mother-daughter teams, people were having sex with the geese or goose before they slit its throat and drank the blood and then ate the foie gras. I mean, it was like modern Sodom and Gomorrah. And that happened within not too long ago. And it's happening now. The United States is also a cesspool, and everybody's just putting up with it. It's so bizarre. I mean, that's why, like I said, it's not that I don't like these people. I pray for them because they're only damaging themselves. If we're going to live in lies,
right,
you're only hurting yourself. Because eventually, like if I sat there, I satirically tell you that I am a fat black Jewish lesbian taco trapped in a man's body with Asperger's syndrome. Because I expect that most of the people in the audience know that I'm just kidding, But if I really ran around claiming to be a fat black Jewish lesbian taco, I'd have a lot of work to do. You know?
Would, yeah.
Every day. Can you imagine?
That'd be exhausting. Yeah.
I'd be like, this is too much. Eventually, by like day 321, I'd be like, you know what? It was fun while it lasted, but I'm just I'm just an artist.
You're just an artist.
Yeah.
I agree. Just an artist. And there you are. Oh, wait, that's you're still looking at my screen there.
Yeah, I like what I see.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, Victor. A lot of people like what they're seeing, and that's pretty much the point of this all. That she was dressing to impress, as they say. It seems like she's working on her next husband.
Yeah.
It's a sad world.
I think Charlie Kirk is still alive. Do you think he's still alive, or do you think he's dead?
You think? Well, I don't know. He looked kind of dead to me, but then you get a lot of other people that say, well, no, that was a green screen. That wasn't exactly the real deal. That's what I've heard.
Oh, did you hear that the judge ordered a mute order? Like nobody's allowed to. 3,000 people are not allowed to talk about it.
I heard something like that. Yes.
That's a conspiracy. when you have that many people under judge's orders to stay quiet. And that brings us back to the whole Sandy Hook thing, man. The Sandy Hook thing, people, again, with the let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah.
Man, that set the precedent for journalists being afraid to cover stories. That's why I got taken off of YouTube, because of a painting that I made called Sandy Hook during the COVID. Between the COVID and Sandy Hook, YouTube was like, this guy's too much, you know?
They weren't allowing you to do that.
And so they shut down my channel. So yeah, it's a weird situation that, again, nobody's talking about. September 11th, 2001 was to create the Patriot Act to keep away people's rights. It's still there. The same thing with the COVID Emergency Act, still there. We have lost any and all rights that we ever had under the Constitution. But most people have no idea that we are all prisoners. This is a prison planet. They control our minds through the black screen, through the television, through the music, through the satellites, through the 5G, 6G, through the nanotech, microwaves, the HARP, everything. That's why people are such a low frequency right now. People are freaking out. People are acting really weird.
And do you see her now, by the way, walking out with those tight pants?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I just wanted you to see that video and the just one of the horrendous. It's a horrendous acting job. I mean, again, she's acting like
satanic
she's
Christians.
Crying.
Yeah.
But there's no tears there, as always.
Yeah, of course. These are the satanic Christians, by the way. They're all brainwashed. They believe that this is proper. Honestly, her husband just died, and I don't mean to be a douche, but she shouldn't be dressed like that.
My point exactly. I would have stopped her and said, don't dress that way. I know what you're doing.
And then the thing is,
you're over there selling it, Victor. She's selling that ass, is what she's doing.
And freedom. Give me a break. There's no freedom in the United States. Are you kidding me? So it's just, again, we're watching a show. These people eating it up. Wow, it's such a dumbed down situation, and it's really sad.
These are all the people that cheer when little kids lose their lives in foreign countries.
Yeah, they're satanic Christians.
That's the satanic Christian.
Yes. Yeah, they think they're Christian, but they're worshiping Satan.
That's really crazy.
They have no idea because they're like brainwashed. They get really insulted when you call them satanic Christians too, because they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Like, dude, you're worshiping God's chosen people. The God of God's chosen people is Lucifer, the father of all lies. That's why you guys eat these lies up like they're fucking Tic Tacs, because you can't get enough. And that's why the Truth Teller arena is so jam-packed with compulsive liars, because that's what people want to hear. If I was lying all the time, talking about my sources and my beliefs and stuff like that, my God, I'd have like the #1 rated show, because you already know my sources, what they tell me and what my beliefs are, you know? I have Erica Kirk on that island with Jeffrey Epstein and James Fetzer and Hope Girl. Playing a game.
Oh, there.
How about you?
By the way, we got dropped off. By the way, but now we're back on. I have no clue what just happened there, but it seems like we got a little too real for people. By the way, Victor,
what do you mean? We got dropped off on StreamYard, or we got dropped off on YouTube?
Well, on StreamYard, something happened, but we're back on. Don't worry, we're good.
Wow, so some of my stuff was censored, huh? What did I say that was wrong?
I have no idea. All I know is that I looked up, and next thing I know, it says that we were dropped off from StreamYard and from OBS. Wow. But I mean, we're back now. It's all good. We're all here together again. It's all good. If you are just tuning in, I am talking to Mr. Victor Hugo, great man, whistleblower of sorts, almost even a friend of mine, I can say.
Yeah.
Almost.
Hey, by the way, what happens? What happens then, by the way, like if does it interrupt the whole video stream, or does it pick up in the middle of it?
It picks up it picks up in the middle. I have it set to where it reconnects. So it's all good. We're back. It's all good. We're here together.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm curious about that, because I know they're censoring, and that's another issue that I have with this arena. They self-censor. I appreciate that about you, by the way. You do let me speak this way, and I do consider you a friend in that sense, because a friend lets another friend speak openly.
Freely, openly, yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand this truth teller community telling me that I need to watch what I say.
And you can't talk to this person or that person. I find that kind of hypocritical.
Yeah, so I heard that Russ Herpes Winter and Susan Bradford and others are contacting anybody and everybody that goes on my show or has anything to do with me. And they tell them in emails that they should distance themselves from me.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, thankfully, people are like, you know what? No. Because that's kind of a weird thing to do.
It is. No, it is.
How weird was that? So you got emails from like different people telling you what, that I'm like a quadruple CIA double Mossad agent?
And like
what the hell are they telling you?
random emails, messages sent to the phone, the number that I use for the call-in. People can text that number or leave voicemail and all that. And I was getting word saying, oh, why do you have Victor on? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it's not the first time people do that, though. Like, people will email me or send me text messages on how to do this or what to do and do this, do that. But there are always people that shouldn't be sort of giving me any sort of advice, especially if they never done anything that we're doing. But everyone thinks they know this, they know that. Everybody's an expert, is essentially what I'm getting down to here, Victor. And it's a little bit annoying, but, they all mean well. They think they know everything, but they don't, unfortunately. But everyone's an expert, Victor.
Well, all I know is I don't know anything. And that's why I'm learning the hard way. Because people are like, oh, you should have known better. I warned you about Dustin Nemos. I warned you about Stu Peters. I warned you about Mike Adams. I'm like, hey, listen, if I lived my life based on what other people told me, I wouldn't learn these things for myself. And really, that's the best lesson learned, is one that you learn for yourself. That's why these parents that don't allow their children to explore the world, I know it's a dangerous world, but I mean, you can't be living in a bubble, people. That's what they want. That's why people are freaking out over the food stamps, because they don't know how to make their own food. You got to learn to survive, people. I think one of the best things that ever happened to me was me getting stuck here. And now I'm happy I'm here, because I realized there was a purpose for me to be here. But when I first got here, yeah, I was homeless. And it was not easy. I lived on the beach, but I learned how to survive. And
you were homeless.
Yeah, I was living on the beach, man. I have videos out there of that stuff.
I had no idea.
Why. Yeah, man. I left China with $250 in my pocket because they only allow you to take out a certain amount of money, and I had 48 hours to escape.
Oh
so
my!
I had to make that choice. I never thought I'd be here that long. I thought I was just going to be able to get back to the States, and I didn't think the whole COVID thing was going to really
mess things up for you that way.
Change the world the way that
it did. Which it did.
When I was in China, I was there during the so-called Wuhan virus outbreak. Dude, there was like no people dying on the streets. Again, that was just another show that they were putting on for people.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I got so disappointed, by the way, Victor. We all saw those videos that were surfacing on social media, on X or Twitter, as it was known in those times. And it was a bunch of Chinese people just dropping to the streets. And Victor, I was hoping that would happen in America, because I do have a lot of enemies. So I was hoping they would, fall over like that. I was extremely happy, but I was so let down. I like a lot of horror movies. So this was, to me, that whole event in 2020, it was like a big horror movie, and I was excited. No one knew what was going to happen. People thought that it was the end times. It was great. It was a fun time. I was hoping, that the worst would happen, but it didn't. I was let down, Victor. My dreams essentially crushed.
Well, it's happening now. People are dying at a big rate, and it's also impacting people's emotions. I'm pretty sure you've noticed that people are a lot more fearful.
People are crazy.
Hatred.
People are very angry.
Yes. There's a very low frequency, and that's part of what that bioweapon. I'm not allowed to say that.
You can't say that.
The oogie woogie jab. Yeah, the oogie woogie jab. Part of it was to
don't do it.
Make people lose their connection to God. And when I say God, I mean consciousness, because really God is consciousness. We are all consciously connected. We are all one. So if you want to call that Christian, Buddhist, whatever, I don't believe in religion, because religion is a control system, just like government. But I do believe in spirituality, and I believe in the soul, and I do believe that our souls are eternally connected. That's why all these people, we're all just living and reliving our existence. These people that, it's not that I don't like them. Their purpose is to be here to teach me so that I can teach others. And that's why we're doing this show, because we're showing people about forgiveness and about apologizing. Imagine what a great world it would be if Stu Peters, James Fetzer, Mike Adams, and all these people realized that censorship is not good because it's hiding the truth. And the truth is what we need to know. That's why we got into this mess and why we're still in this mess. So if you're going to call yourself a truth teller and you're going to call yourself a free speech advocate, then be free speech all the way. Even if it means, like the guest that you and I both had on our show, who was a karate expert and or a
mixed martial arts. Muay Thai, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tough guy. You got to be, again, in the ring, people. If again, I'm not in the World Wrestling Federation ring. I thought it was a boxing ring. I'm sorry to my audience for thinking that Stu Peters was not Comedy Central, that James Fetzer knew what he was talking about, and that all these people were like real. It turns out they're all fake.
I just can't believe he had a cult, though, Nemos, or he currently does have a cult. You just have to talk about God and a bunch of Bible thumpers. Well, then eventually you'll get a bunch of Bible thumpers throwing money at you. No disrespect to him. I'm not hating on anyone's hustle. I know a nigga's got to make some money. He's got to get that paper. As my good friend used to tell me that. But again, Victor, I don't even know, I don't mean to judge him because I'm sure he's charming in his own way, but he seems a little flat. He doesn't really have much charisma, in my opinion. So that's why I'm like, how does he have a cult? I'm just a little confused by that.
This is what I'm finding out, man. This is the whole thing. Again, when you start going down that rabbit hole, he used to be a guest on my show, but then after that whole thing happened with members of his congregation and him making false allegations that he had correspondence with Son of Enos, his mother, and that he was trying to help her out and everything. That was strange because I was like, dude, that's not true. I know. Like, why are you lying to me? And I sent them private emails because I don't believe in airing your dirty laundry out in public. I haven't done that with anybody, like Fetzer, Stu Peters, none of these people. I always send them emails first between them and I, not phone calls because I don't have a phone. And I'm glad I sent emails because these emails are proof, which could stand up in a court of law. So don't bullshit me. I send you emails saying, hey, listen, this is a problem. Let's fix it. And then if your response to me is fuck you, then I'm like, okay, fuck you,
Right. It's fuck you like it's fuck me, in other words.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. I'm telling you there's a leak. And you're telling me fuck you. I'm like, this leak is going to affect me because I'm in the same ship with you, dude. So we need to figure out what to do with this leak. Don't just tell me, fuck you.
Right.
It's not a solution,
Well, again, so I saw you doing a lot of shows with him. I was a little bit confused. I thought, like I don't know. I look for entertainment. I guess I'm in the wrong sort of thing here, to be honest with you. I judge people a little bit differently than a normal person would. And I'll finish this train of thought here in a moment, but I think we are joined by a caller. I think they might have had something to say to you. Are you there? I could hear the show going off in the background. If you can you please turn down your listening device? Yeah, you please.
Oh yeah, I'll be that for you there, man. Oh, just a second there.
Yeah, you might want to turn that down. Which is something I got to remind the audience to turn down their phones, their computers, whatever, because it's going to bleed through. And did you do that, sir? What's going on?
Oh, good, Mike.
How's it going?
And Victor. Hi, Victor. How are you doing?
Hello, sir. Good. Thanks for asking.
Good. I've got a few questions about your paintings now. What gave you the idea to start your beautiful coloring paintings on canvas?
When I ran into the judge, Donald W. Heffiel, who presided over the Jeffrey Epstein, and he told me that I couldn't talk about or write about or use his name or likeness in sharing what I knew. which was that the litigation vortex and the Department of Justice in the United States was broken, and that the judges were enabling pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein. So I went home, and in a moment of clarity, I threw my tie off. I was wearing a suit because I was standing in front of the judge. I was representing myself pro se during what's called the Crackhead Jesus trials, because one of my tenants got high on crack, went to work, got on his desk, proclaimed to all his employees he was the new Messiah and that they were now his disciples. So he ended up telling me Jesus don't pay the rent, and he taught me what squatters' rights are. So what ended up happening was I asked for inspiration from the universe. I said, I have a story to tell that involves children that are being trafficked, tortured on an island by elites. And I said, what do I do? And so the creator told me, he said, paint it. He said he told you couldn't talk about it, write about it, or film about it.
Oh,
but he
hold
said
on.
he never told you couldn't paint about it. So
I think he's breaking up here, Victor.
Okay, well, that's the answer to his question.
Yeah, that's the answer. Well, thank you for calling in. And I think we'll be letting him go. Thanks for the call, by the way. We appreciate that. But yeah, Victor, a little backstory there.
Yeah, back to the situation with Dustin Nemos. This is the latest that I found out. I had a person who contacted me wanting to come on the show. And I actually played the clip during my interview with Sterling.
Sterling?
Yeah. And so what ended up happening was this person sent me photos because apparently she's like this, she's well known for exposing people that are transgenders or male to female or female to male transitions, like Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus and all these other people that you're like, wow, I always thought they were chicks.
Right.
But it turns out they're chicks with dicks.
Chicks with dicks.
So that's
okay.
That's a thing. But now there's also like female to male transitions. So the person sends me these pictures and she's like, look, I'd like to come on your show and prove to you that Dustin Nemos is a female to male transition. And I was like, really? Well, how is that? He's got like kids and a Chinese wife or an Asian wife. So it turns out that, again, a source told me, and people have sent me messages about this. So I'm actually kind of following this line because I'm going, wow, some of this makes sense. Again, the government says you've got some felonies. We want you to work for us. You're going to become the Q guy. Once people start noticing that Q is full of crap, we're going to leave X22 report, SGT report around. SGT report had Dustin Nemos on his show a number of times and others. He's been on Mike Adams, all the regular players. Okay. So then they go, well, now you've run your course with Q. We need you to be the Jesus guy. We need you to run a cult. We need you to, have all these Christian, we want you to be the modern Jim Jones. You're going to promote lies. You're going to distract people. You're going to make people angry at all the Jews because he's always talking about like exterminating all the Jews under Obadiah and that Jews are demons and stuff like that. So he's like very contentious with what he says. Like, if he was in Canada, he'd be in jail, which is
Absolutely.
What was disgusting was
Yeah.
what he was claiming. They're claiming that Son of Enos was spouting the same kind of hatred that Dustin Nemos is, and that's not true at all. It's like apples and oranges. Anyway, he would come on my show and he would say that. And again, I don't censor people. If that's your thing, then so be it. And I get it. It's the Jews. But his thing was like, it's the Jews and according to God. But he goes by the Old Testament God, which is not the Jesus God. The Old Testament God was like killing everybody, with the floods and this and that and the other.
Right.
So he says the same thing's going to happen to the Jews. And he swears by it. And his followers, they're all for killing, which, listen, I get it. Like, I get it. The commandments, like, thou shalt not murder. But it doesn't tell you can't kill if it's in self-defense, because you're supposed to defend yourself, right? So, but anyway, that's one of the things that he says.
Again, more power to him. I have no idea how he was able to accomplish that, but credit. I'm giving him credit. That's great. I'm glad he has this sort of cult following that will listen to him and do what he wants. I think that's great.
Well, this is supposedly what's happening. So they said, okay, we're going to set you up now as this, it's the Jews guy, and they all should be killed and exterminated, guys, so that we can start doing the anti-Semitism laws, which were brought in during the Bush administration.
That's right. Yeah.
All these things, they have players. They bring in players. Remember, we're watching a show, so Dustin's playing his role of the crazy cult guy. But then again, people are telling me that he may actually have been a female to male.
Yeah, which
Why?
is insane if that's true. Not sure how that's
check
true.
This
but...
out. Check this out. They say that it's because of the way that his facial hair is growing. That if you're like a real guy like me, your hair grows in like this. Like this is like, but if you see his beard, it doesn't grow in naturally. And you'll notice that with female to male transitions. They don't grow normal beards because they're females and it's hormones. And the hormones don't allow certain natural things, if you're a real man, to like connect.
And Victor, and given in that same stance, what would convince you to prove that he is actually a real male, a man of sorts, and not a woman or whatever, hermaphrodite, not a hermaphrodite, sort of a person that's transitioned? In other words, what would seal the deal for you to prove, to validate that he in fact is a male?
You know what? I really am not.
You want to see his cock? What do you need to see?
I honestly, that doesn't make a difference to me. It's about the lies. If he is that, then again, he's lying to his congregation. So whether he's this, that, or the other thing, it's more about the truth. Again, you cannot claim to be a Christian if you're cool with lies, because then that means that your God, Jesus, whatever, was running around bullshitting everybody. That means Jesus is an asshole. So you're telling me that you're worshiping an asshole, but you get mad at me because I made a movie called Crackhead Jesus. Meanwhile, your Jesus is running around telling people lies. If you were a woman and now you're a man, then come clean, man, and just say, hey, listen, you know what? And then the thing is,
that'd be amazing if he was.
Well, then the people say this too. He's constantly telling people about the race mixing. But meanwhile, he's married to, allegedly, when I say allegedly is because people are saying that whole marriage thing and the kids is all set up again by the government because he's an intelligence asset.
Oh, I see.
Which makes more sense to me, because that's how you get a cult.
Interesting.
Jim Jones of Jonestown, he was totally an intelligence asset. All these guys who have these cults,
outrageous.
You think it's easy to get a cult?
I don't think it might. Yeah, probably not. I don't think it's that easy.
I mean, it's not that easy, man. I mean, when I say a cult, I'm not kidding. You got to see his followers. They're a cult.
Are they going to go after me now?
That's what I'm saying. That's how these people are, man. Like, if you're a real Jesus person, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Not in my opinion.
Jones,
but yeah.
What happened with Jim Jones was like the people that, like, what's happening in Dustin Krieger. His real name is Dustin Craig Krieger. He changed his name to just Dustin Nemos. Didn't do it legally. He just changed it because he didn't want people to find out all the crimes that he committed. And they weren't like bullshit crimes. They were like breaking and entering with stolen weapons and stuff and assault and stuff. So these are things that, like, consciously you have to do. I don't know if you've ever been broken into and had your personal space violated, but that's like a traumatic experience for anybody.
Luckily, I haven't. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. So this guy did that not just once, but he did it a number of times, which means he's unrepentant. So this is a dangerous man. And you're going to be taking advice from a guy who admittedly was also a prostitute and a male stripper at a gay bar. But meanwhile, he's, again, with the whole satanic Christians. Peter Thiel gets up and tells everybody he's a proud gay. I'm like, gay people fist. They felch and they snowball. That's disgusting. And you're all Christians and you're applauding that. These people think gay people just hang around, hold hands, and watch fucking, I don't know, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy thing. No, gay people are doing disgusting things.
Are you saying they are doing very unnatural things?
Yeah, felching,
unnatural,
fisting,
yes.
Snowballing. Look it up, people, and take the safety off your Google search, and you'll get an eye full of all. And then you'll understand why you're a satanic Christian, because you're running around applauding this nonsense. So anyway, supposedly the government said, "Listen, we need you to start a cult." And we need you to be so contentious that you're going to tell white people that they should stick with white people. Then you're going to tell them that you're a white person married to an Asian woman, having like all these half Asian kids. And you're going to tell them that it's okay because your God says that you're the best debater of our era and that you've never lost a debate and that God is okay with lies. And your people are going to believe you. I mean, it's like, what? So supposedly,
And by the way, Victor, for the
they got him
record,
with the,
for the record,
yeah.
when I saw him initially on your show, you know, I didn't exactly hate him. I didn't exactly like him either. I thought, why are you doing a show with someone like that? That's pretty dry. He didn't really see. Again, I'm a different sort of. You know, I'm not in your target audience. I don't think I'm in anyone's target audience, to be honest with you. I'm looking for things that are informational, amusing, that sort of thing. And when he was on, and no offense to him, but he seemed pretty dry. You know, he doesn't seem to have much charisma, but he had enough charisma to have a cult. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong for that, evidently. I guess I am wrong. He developed a cult out of thin air, I guess. But I'm seeing him on your show and I'm thinking, wait, what is going on? Why do you even have him on, Victor? He's, you know, he's not that fun.
That's a good question.
He's not that
That's
fun
a
to
good
me.
question. No, but he is challenging the thought process, and that's what I enjoy. That's why I have people like you on my show and of all sorts on my show, because I don't have a target audience. My audience hates me sometimes.
They hate you.
Yeah, because I bring people on the show like Dustin Emos that they hate, or like others that they hate. And the thing is, I think we got to get to know these people. If I had not brought Dustin Emos on the show, he wouldn't have exposed himself. He exposed himself. I didn't do shit.
But you did like
This
him
guy
at one
exposed-
time, though, Victor. You will admit that on record.
Yeah.
You liked him.
Absolutely. I liked him. And not only did I like him, but I believed him. Because he was the one who was telling me about Stu Peters. And I fought him against that. But then it turns out he was right about it.
He was
Stu
right.
Peters.
Okay. Well, at
So
least
you
you
see,
acknowledge that there is some good in some people, even if they do these outrageous things at one time or another. It is good to sort of forgive these people that are doing these things. They don't know that they're doing something wrong. And I'm not going on a religious tangent here. I'm just being straight with you. Obviously, he's not that bad of a guy. But then until he is, evidently, for some people out there, I mean, some people say he's this dangerous person.
Well, I'll explain to you what you just said and why it's true and why it fits into the whole controlled opposition and how the government works. You can't just have constantly a bad guy. You have to have a guy who's 80% good and 20% horrible. But the horrible part is the part that people don't want to see. That's the traitor. And the worst enemy is the traitor. That's what they were grooming me to be. I would have been the nicest guy. You would have had me on your show so many times. I would have been so awesome because I would have been telling everybody about the bioweapon. Well, I would have been telling them about the Oogie
Other
Woogie,
things, yes.
I would have, I would have been feeding you sweets and telling you lies.
Yes. You would have been pouring some
And
sugar all over me.
I would have been pouring sugar all over.
All
you.
over. Wow.
And that's what these guys do. So that's why they are dangerous, because
I hear
whether
you.
they're ignorant,
Yeah.
because that's the other thing. Some of them may be ignorant, but I doubt that. You don't get to be a Stu Peters or an Alex Jones or any relation to these people unless you know what's really going on. The thing is, these people are compromised. You notice they have a lot of arrests. And so usually when you have an arrest and you're dealing in the justice system, there's an attorney that comes in that's a prosecutor and he says, listen, we got a deal for you. And that's what happened with the Crackhead Jesus trials.
Yeah.
That's why Epstein got a sweetheart deal. He spent the night at a halfway house in, I think, Palm Beach for doing things to kids.
Right.
And then during the day, he was out and he was doing things to kids. So he never stopped doing things to kids. And the judge who presided over it, Judge Donald W. Haffield, told me I couldn't write about it or use his name or likeness.
Yikes.
So that's how I started modern archives of journalism. I was like, wait a minute, this is going to have a long-lasting effect. And that's why even though Trump and everybody, Pam Bondi, and tell me, oh, let it go, it's done. There's no Jeffrey Epstein list, never happened. That's all a conspiracy. No, I've got artwork that documents that so that future generations can know that some shit happened
Right.
that nobody wants to talk about.
No, I agree with
and
you.
we have to talk about it.
I agree with
And
you.
so
And
that's why I don't
Mhm.
let this stuff go, because this stuff is important stuff, man. And we've got people in the controlled opposition that are distracting you with this high school drama. Oh, Victor's this, and sources tell me that Victor's that, and this person's gay or whatever. It's like, get over that. If you're a tranny, say you're a tranny, but admit at least that you're like, these controlled opposition know they're controlled opposition, Michael. You know that.
I do. Unfortunately, I do know that.
But
by the way, to be fair though, there were things that I did like about him. I don't think he was the worst person you ever brought on your program. There's other people that I think that are. I don't know. I'm going to be polite here, but I didn't really think they should have been on with you. But I did like some aspects that Dustin did bring to the table. That I'm just being fair, not to completely trash him. I don't hate. Again, I don't even know him, so I can't really talk or form any kind of opinion on him, to be honest with you, because he seemed all right to me. He wasn't that bad.
Well, put it this way: there's a guy named Jared Leto. He's in a band called something 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yes.
He's also been in some fantastic.
He's a weird
movies.
person.
He's a great actor. He's got a cult, man.
I've seen it.
The Jared Leto cult.
I know very well about it. Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, it's a bunch of women. It's a bunch of ladies out there. They all like him. They see him as a Jesus Christ-like figure. I mean, they're all throwing themselves at each other. But when you have a cult, you're able to bang people's wives, people's girlfriends. So, I mean, it's not exactly a bad hustle, in my opinion.
Michael, when are we starting our cult? And what should we call it?
I know. We need to start a religious cult of sorts.
Yeah. What are we going to call it, Michael? Let's start a cult.
Yeah, let's start one. But I need a good name. We need a good name though for that.
Yeah, if you are in the chat section, please give Michael.
Yeah, give us some names and
for our cult.
Shout out to Jane, I believe that is, and everybody else, Dublin, and I don't know if that's Ra something, some Russian guy maybe. I can't really see the monitor from this far, but the font's so small on my monitor, so I can't really read that well. But if anybody asked any questions, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find what you guys are saying, but and to James's credit too. Again, I don't hate James at all. Jim Fetzer. At one time you liked these people, Victor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
at one time
so
you did like them.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, man. It really is. Because like I said, I got into the wrong ring. You get into a ring, you think you're going to box, then it turns out these guys are a bunch of clowns playing, World Wrestling Federation. And I'm like, oh man, sorry, I got in the wrong ring, like
I understand.
You guys do you, and I'll go over there with people who are willing to have interviews like what you're doing.
I understand too.
You're asking me questions.
This show could have, by the way, my
questions.
show could have been way bigger than it is now if I would have gone and played nice and joined the talk circle circuit, the ones that talk about ancient aliens and history and all those people. If I would have played the game, this show would have been a lot bigger than it is, even though the show is incredibly large. We're talking about a few million people that listen to this program, even though it doesn't look like it on YouTube. I mean, this program is extremely censored and hard to find, but people do find it and have found it. Not exactly on YouTube, but in other avenues, it's blown up to a certain degree. Victor, that's what a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people will be listening back to this interview, Victor. So your words might be used against you, just like they will be used against me. But I'd love that, though. I mean, I've done all these sort of things that you're currently doing, and I've caused a lot of damage, Victor, which is always especially fun, in my opinion. So, I'm always looking for other people out there that are pretty much going through the same thing that I did or currently am going through, and I can relate a lot to you, Victor. I really appreciate your opinions, your thoughts, and all this, and I did want to ask you one more other question in reference to a guest I brought on here a couple months ago by the name of E. Michael Jones. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mr. Jones, but
Yeah, He came on my show,
you
and
had
he
him
was
on
super
for?
cool. He was super nice. Yeah, I had a good relationship with him. I was told by people that he's a douchebag, but again, you got to give people a chance.
You got to give
until
them
they
a
prove
chance,
themselves.
yes.
Otherwise,
Pretty much. So I wanted to ask you the same question that I asked him, and I'm gonna go now. Since I could remember Victor from childhood well into adulthood, I've heard people say you vote for the lesser of two evils. And I asked him the same question. I said, I didn't like his answer, and I thought it was insanely unusual to hear his take. But personally, I always think, why would anyone vote for anything that is remotely evil? I think that's kind of a weak and narrow minded sort of approach. And the people in my country should have never accepted it. And this is why we need to sort of do away with the two-party system already. I know we have third parties, but they're not funded, they're not sponsored by APAC and other lobbyist groups out there from foreign governments. There needs to be a political party that isn't sponsored by any foreign country. But I don't think we're ever going to see that in our lifetimes. But Victor, don't you agree? Why would anyone in the right fucking minds vote for a lesser of two evils? Why even support anything that is quote unquote fucking evil?
if you're asking me, I'd say it's because they're stupid.
Are they that dumb?
Yeah, that's why I got upset at Sean Turnbull and James Fetzer, was because they were telling everybody to vote for Trump because he was the lesser of two evils, and I kept trying to explain to them,
Ugh.
listen, when you vote for the lesser of two evils, what you get is evil. And then they were mad at me, and this is when I was going on their shows, and I was not going along with the vote for the lesser of two evils. I was like, dude, it's like
I hate
drinking
hearing
a
that.
glass.
That's
Yeah,
retarded.
and so again, that's why I haven't made. I'm not liked on these shows, because when I go on the show, I say what you do. I'm like, listen, are you stupid, or are you lying to your audience here? Because you're telling them to
Right.
vote for the lesser of two evils, and you claim to be Christian. Jesus, if you go by what Jesus says, he always says, like, love one another and treat others the way you'd want to be treated. If you told me that I had to spend the night with either Freddy Krueger or Jason from Friday the 13th, and your answer was, well, Victor, you got to spend the night with somebody, so I'll pick Freddy Krueger. This way, at least you can have, some interesting dreams. I'd be like, you're an asshole. I don't want to spend the night with either one of those. We need to figure out a way where I don't spend a night with those, you fucking douche.
Exactly. So
No,
I'm
they're
tired of this game.
I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a favor. Freddy Krueger is more, interesting. It's like, no, man. That's the mentality of these people. But you gotta spell it out for them like they're stupid, because most people are stupid. That's why if you say, okay, who are you going to spend the night with, Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees? You say,
It's
no,
crazy.
I don't want to spend the night. I don't want to spend the night with either one of them. Let's figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure this out.
Right.
How come I have to spend the night with either one of these? People don't do that anymore. They what was his answer, by the way?
Well, again, he said that's what you have to do, and he'd rather have voted for Trump than the other party. So again, he gave me a very standard cop-out sort of answer that I just found kind of bizarre, coming from the fact that he's this very religious sort of figure. He's a Catholic man. And to Jane, yes, in the chat room, yes, E. Michael Jones is very pleasant to listen to. I do like him, but again, his take there was, again, really, it was very boomerish. He's very boomer minded, but then again, he's up there, he's a grandfather, he's an old man. There's nothing wrong with that, but his mentality is, he's sort of an archaic fossil to me in that regard, where he still believes this bullshit.
Yeah, that's interesting. The demographic that I fall into, I may have a white beard, but I totally don't have that mentality.
You don't.
I'm not of the boomer generation. I'm of the lied to generation.
Exactly.
That's my generation. Everybody who's waking up and going, holy shit, we've been lied to. Even lied to by those that we've trusted. And that's what I'm here to do, brother. And that's why I thank you for having me on your show and daring to ask me the tough questions that you asked before the show. You said, hey, listen, I said, ask me anything you want. Did I or did I not say that?
You did say that. I just, I didn't want to blindside you. I just wanted to be upfront with you and say, look, this is the way I wanted to take this. And then you could just go off from there. You could say whatever you want. And I never once told you what you can or can't say exactly. Just the usual stuff. You can mention the little unfortunate incident that happened a couple years ago, which we're still being lied to this day. But there's other, there's things that I told you that we'd be headed down towards. And it's been a pleasant sort of surprise to hear from you, Victor, your thoughts and opinions on all these people on the Wigger. Stu Peters, by the way, a failed rapper who, by the way, again, how can you be that angry all the time, Victor? That's a funny gimmick. That's like telling me that Alex Jones is not that's not a theatrical, that's not another gimmick, it's shtick. So again, his his sort of his whole character is kind of, I can't take it seriously, Victor. People that have been paid that much and they're still angry, I mean, get out of here. Come on.
Well, I
Come on
stopped
now.
watching these people's shows once I realized that they're not telling me the truth, because time is precious and we don't have much time.
Yeah,
So
don't waste
I'd
your
rather
time.
I don't want to waste my time with someone that I know is claiming to be a truth teller, but
Tell
it's
you
not.
bullshit.
Yeah, so it's not like if I saw Stu Peters, or I don't even know what that's GT report Sean Turnbull looks like, but I'd buy these guys a beer. I'm sure they listen. We could still have a beer and have a conversation.
Sure.
I'm not gonna, start having a wrestling match with these guys.
Right.
I get it. They're doing what they got to do.
Yeah, they're
They've got
playing a
families
character.
to support. Yeah, they're doing their shtick.
Yeah.
And I'm doing mine.
Hey, a nigga's
Mine
got to
is,
make some money, Victor.
Yeah,
Niggas got to get paid.
I'm an artist, and I am just having conversations with people that are interesting, and the audience is the voyeur. So yeah, I don't really have, like, I'm not a member of the truth teller community or the alt news media, although I dabble in that stuff.
Right.
But
I know
really,
you're
this
not
is
you're not really embedded into that pool of people, though. You're on the outside, like I am.
yeah, like what is what we do, Michael? You and I have like an interesting. Where would they?
I have a
put
very
us?
different take, I've noticed.
What format are we?
I
Who
don't even
listens
know.
to this show? Do you know
People
who
that
listens
are
to this
real,
show?
though, not a bunch of pussies. People that don't like being lied to.
Yeah, I guess there is an audience for people who want to listen to us just shoot the shit for a while.
That
'Cause that's what
too.
I've been doing with you. It's
Well,
just
I mean, we did, but we did it in a good way. It was a casual conversation, very candid, but we went over some very valid points into the conversation. It's not like we're just talking about Sydney, what's her name? We're not talking about some tits here all program long. I mean, it's always good to see that.
yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm not angry at that.
No argument here. Probably would have been a better show.
But yeah, it would have been a lot better if we just talk about, Sydney
Talk-
Sweeney. We didn't talk about her in that transparent dress, which I
I don't
thought
even know
looked
who
lovely.
that is.
Just an actress.
Oh, really?
A very gorgeous actress, but that's another story.
Really? Do you have a picture of her you could pull up for the audience?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I don't. I'm out of it, man. I'm so busy producing these shows. Sometimes I do 3 or 4 shows a day, and
Yeah, that's
I
the other
love it.
thing. You do like a million shows every day.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm talking to people all over the world. I got another show right after this coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard
Damn.
Time, where I'll be live streaming on Rumble. Sometimes I do like 6-hour marathon shows, man.
You
It's
stay
great.
busy, man. You stay really busy for whatever reason. Why are you doing so many shows, Victor?
Because I love it.
You
I
just
really
love it. You
what
got
I
the
do.
bug.
I've got the bug. When I don't want to do this anymore, I'll just stop. I'll drop the mic and say thank you, everybody. It's been amazing. And then I'm gonna dedicate my life to raising a family.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because my sperm is still good.
It is.
Yeah.
Charlie
Charlie
men could
Chaplin
have
had kids when he was 80.
men could have kids until forever. It seems like.
Yes. And what is it? Zorba the Greek. That guy who played Zorba the Greek. He had kids when he was like, I think he was in the 90s and stuff.
And I believe this is this is Sydney Sweeney now. By the way, this is a new photograph.
Oh, let me see.
That has
Let me
sort
see.
of
Here we go.
captivated everybody out there. She's become a bigger thing now that she's letting it all kind of hang out, even though she already has a lot of
I don't
commotion
see it.
over Sydney Sweeney. Refresh.
Why can't
Refresh
I
your.
see it?
Oh well,
Really?
you don't see
Well,
that.
that's no, I don't. I guess it's for the better. Hey, by the way, did you hear in Europe? It's called pulling a Paris now. That the migrants, they call it. They're illegal aliens. Oh wow.
Do you
Okay,
see
now
that
I see
now?
Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, wow, that's nice. So okay, yeah. Those are what's called bodacious tatas. I
Those
don't know
are
what you call
some,
them
I call those heavy
in
hangers. That's
California.
what I call them.
Heavy hangers. Nice.
Yes, now everybody's going to be zooming
Okay.
in on the window now.
Yes, God bless her. God bless
So,
her.
she
So
lets her talent out, and in the same way
I,
that Erica Kirk is now exposing the camel toe, she's showing that ass, getting ready for husband number 2.
holy cow. Never
Absolutely. It's
heard
in
of
her
her
DNA.
either.
It's in her DNA. She's gonna, she's gonna knock it out with somebody else
Oh,
pretty soon.
by the way, I noticed you've got some like Halloween stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, what are you doing for Halloween? What's going on?
I have not decided yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do for Halloween yet. It's a great question. But yeah, you see the little ghost and the pumpkin. I mean, it's all nice. It's fun.
Yeah, that's great. I almost forgot it's Halloween. This is an Orthodox Christian country, and that Halloween is totally satanic.
It is.
That's when most there's like a lot of satanic ritual abuse and murders and stuff that happen that day. A lot of children go missing. There's a lot of human sacrifice. So it's interesting that, and that happens all over the world. This is like a really, really, these next 24 hours are pretty wicked.
It really is. It really is. It's insane. But yes, time has really flown on by, Victor, and I really appreciate your time here on the program with me. I think this was a great conversation. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about all these fools you have surrounding you, Victor, it sounds like.
Yeah, but my favorite part was Sydney Sweeney, Maron. Good
Maron,
grief.
I know.
God bless that woman.
She's got
God
some good
bless her.
DNA, they say.
Oh, she does.
She's got good
God bless her.
genes.
That was my favorite part of the show. I'm glad you left it for the end. What an ending.
Yeah, I gave you a happy ending. Yes.
Oh, man. That was fun, Michael. Thank you so much, man. And whenever you want to do it again, let me know. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. It was good.
I like the fact that you are actually like a better journalist than most, man. It's
I'm
so
told
funny.
that.
It's
I'm
like,
told that.
yeah, you are. You just come out with the questions. That's the best way to do it, man. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid, you know?
It's more fun that way and being more organic and sort of just going where the wind blows sort of approach and keeping it real with you. You are my brother, and I say that the way the blacks say to each other, you're my brother from a different mother.
From another mother.
That's
Yes,
right.
brother from another mother. I look forward to meeting you in person one day.
We
and,
will. We will.
Smoking a doob and hanging
We
out
will
with all
get
the
high. Yes, absolutely.
folks in California. That's a beautiful place.
I'm in Huntington
Love
Beach.
California.
Good place.
Man, I love that place.
A lot of beautiful
I love
women.
it.
All the hot women go down by the ocean, as you know. That's where all the hot white women are at.
Yeah, holy cow. You're blessed, brother.
Absolutely.
Hey, by the way, if you're new, check out my work. Go to victorhugocollection.com. You can scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll find my channels on Rumble and BitChute. I am actually an artist, and I also am a filmmaker and a producer, a screenwriter, and I produce music as well. So I guess you can call me a multifaceted artist. I don't know. But yeah, and don't believe all the nonsense that you hear out there, people. My life is an open book. So you can look up Huiping Wang, Huipingwang, and then Victor Hugo. And yeah, ask the U.S. government why they're not following up on this terrorist. That you've got sleeper cells in the USA of the Huiping Wang army. They told me how they were doing it. I laid it all out for everybody. So, and then these idiots wanting to extradite me so that what? So that the terrorists can get away with what they're doing?
Amazing.
No, this government's protecting me. And I thank the Republic of Georgia government, and I thank the police and the police chief and everything. They all know who I am. So when these idiots are telling them to have me extradited, they're scratching their heads going, who are these fools?
Love
you
that.
know?
And that's
Yeah.
Victor Hugo. Look him up over on Rumble. You can find him there, where he will be
And
doing his shows
BitChute.
live at times, or on BitChute.
Yeah. And I'm also on Odyssey. And when Mike Adams isn't censoring my videos on Brighteon, you can find my videos on Brighteon. I'm also on Vigilante TV with the Dollar Vigilante, Max Egan, who's pretty cool, and Jeff Berwick, who's also pretty cool. I hear bad things about those guys, but they haven't done me dirty, and they've proven themselves to be honest.
Honest.
Let's
Okay.
put it that way. Yeah.
Very cool.
So I know Jeff Berwick had some things in his past, and Maxie. Listen, who doesn't have things in their past?
Yeah, we
I get it.
understand that. Yes.
And
Who
so
doesn't?
people are like, oh, that's why I had Dustin on too, but I never knew. Like, I honestly, I didn't find all this stuff out until after his congregation contacted me. And at that point, I really couldn't turn a blind eye, because the allegations they were making were pretty serious. And I had to, say, hey, listen, man, you want to come on the show? I want to allow you to defend yourself. And then rather than defending himself, he attacked me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm the kind of guy that you throw the first punch. After you throw the first punch,
It's on. Understood.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, so you're going to be doing a show right now on Rumble, it seems like.
Yeah.
And,
in about 15 minutes, I'll be going live on Rumble.
Perfect. I don't want to hold you up too long. And again, I really appreciate you being here for as long as you've been here. And I really love your honesty and your transparency here on the program. I appreciate that. And I look for that in people. And it seems like you're doing the right thing here, Victor, even though everyone has a different means of doing certain things. And sometimes those things can be a little unusual, a little unorthodox at times. But I totally understand. I really appreciate you being here, Victor. And we'll do it again on the other side, my friend.
I'm trying my best, brother. That's all I ask of everyone out there. Just try your best. And if you're wrong, just accept it. But stop wallowing in the lies, people. It's killing us, quite literally. And it's real easy. It's real easy to say you're sorry and to forgive people,
Absolutely.
That's what we need right now. All right. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for having me on.
You got it.
I'll see everybody. God bless everybody out there. Cheers.
Take care. And there he goes, boys and girls. That was my guest, Mr. Victor Hugo Vaca Jr. the second. My goodness. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. If you are still here listening to this and haven't subscribed to us right here on the YouTube channel, please do so now. That's the Michael Decon program. For those of you who have not figured that out, it's been a wild ride here, and I really appreciate Victor and all of you out there that will listen to this on the replay, the international listeners, those of you who are hanging around here on the JW Tube. Much love to all of you. I really liked you guys being here. It's good to see some newer faces here as always. But yes, if you could hear that music, that means it is time to get on out. It's been a good one. That's michaeldecon.com. Go there, and of course, if you want some bonus material, if you need another dose of the Michael Decon program, you could search around this channel. You have all kinds of shows to get through, but of course, the podcast version is where you want to go. Search the Michael Decon program, and you will find us there wherever you listen to podcasts. But I must advise, if you do really enjoy this program, go to patreon.com/Michael Decon. This program is listener supported and backed by people like you. I've been demonetized on this platform for a rather long time. I make no money doing this. Not through here, only by you out there. So definitely sign up patreon.com/Michael Decon. You get a lot in there. You get more of me in there, being a little bit more tame at times, but still pretty outrageous regardless. And we'll continue it here soon again, boys and girls. Happy Halloween to all of you out there. And yes, much love and respect to all the new people out there. I'll see you on the other side. Signing off from Huntington Beach, California, my name in fact is Michael Decon, and I shall see you soon. Take care.
Take it easy. professor exhorted the crowd to reject the traditional path to success.
Turn on, tune in, drop out. I mean drop out of high school, drop out of college, drop out of graduate school.
Hindu chanting melded.
But he's doxed me, he talks shit about me constantly. He tells me the things that the voices in my head used to tell me.